It is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for some Tru Heel Heat. Another crazy week, another busy week in the world of pro wrestling. Over in AEW, the road to All In London continues to progress and take shape. Swerve Strickland is back, and has he opened the door for the New Day's debut in All Elite Wrestling? We'll talk about that on today's show. Also in AEW, you had Dynamite this week with the Continental Cup continuing. You had Collision last Saturday with the Continental Cup kicking off. Over in New Japan Pro Wrestling, the G1 Climax 36 tournament is about to close shop tomorrow morning as Ryohei Oiwa and Yuya Uemura have punched their ticket for the final. We'll talk about the semifinals from this morning and the whole week of the G1 Climax, the final week of the tournament. Over in CMLL, we had the fallout from International Week, tag team action on Tuesday, and then a preview for the anniversary show on Friday. Over in WWE, CM Punk and Kevin Owens continues to be the most intense and heated rivalry in the entire company. Braun Breaker and Obafemi keep staring at each other. Solo Sikoa is hilarious, but now bound by the bloodline. And Zilla Fatu brings the bloodline to NXT. Busy week across the board. It's the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast. I might be going solo for the entire show, so join aboard because you guys are my co-hosts for the day. Let's get to it.
He said to watch Tru Heel Heat now! Right now!
Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be Tru Heel Heat. SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
Yes, it is I, Holly Cameron, and I'm in your phones, but I'm also making an appearance for Tru Heel Heat. I've been told it's a fantastic podcast. Why haven't you had me on it, huh? Where's my invitation? I think you guys need to feel the wrath. I'm at Comic-Con today, but I think we need to get some, some wrath in the show. So let me know. Upbeat person, you're watching Tru Heel Heat.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch for Tru Heel Heat 394. Swerve in our positivity. We're talking about the latest wrestling news, including a possible Swerve Strickland and New Day stable in All Elite Wrestling. Bayley pisses off WWE with AEW teases. Recap of this week in wrestling with AEW Dynamite featuring Swerve's return. Collision, NJPW, G1 Climax 36, days 14 through 18, including this morning's semifinals. ROH Global Wars Mexico, CMLL, Martes Popularis, and Super Viernes, WWE SmackDown featuring CM Punk and Kevin Owens, intense face-to-face, Raw on Netflix featuring Solo Sikoa being forced back to the bloodline, NXT featuring Zilla Fatu's WWE debut, Evolve, AAA Vernon D. Escalano Week 3, and TNA Impact featuring Leon Slater putting everything on the line. Plus, we got final predictions for tomorrow morning's G1 Climax 36 final. And of course, to do that, to talk all about it, I would usually be joined by the beautiful, the lovely princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Chrissy Love. Or I would be joined by the True Jaw Josh, but unfortunately, I am not. I am riding solo for now. I'm hoping to be joined by Jon Escudero of Dirt Sheet Radio. He is on the West Coast time frame, so it's about 7:22 a.m. Pacific time for him, and he was up covering the G1 Climax semifinals, similar to me. So even though I don't think did I go back to sleep after the G1 semifinals? I don't think I ever did. I just stayed up. I was up after that. I got a good enough amount of sleep, but I'm here with y'all. So appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. You can also sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you, hear your thoughts on this week in wrestling. You can also sound off in the comments down below. Let us know what you thought about Swerve's return, what you thought about the New Day possibly debuting in AEW alongside Swerve. Talk about the Bayley news with her pissing off WWE and with her AEW teases. We got a lot of wrestling news to discuss, so let us know in the comments down below what caught your eye. What's the most that you want to talk about on today's show? You can let me know there. And of course, you can let me know in the live chat. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel and our flagship podcast in the best way possible, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. We got Matthew Hooks joining us today in the chat. Good to see you, Matt. He says, THH, what else do you wanted added to All In? If it was my choice, whatever they're doing with Swerve, Hangman, and Brodito, that would be just a trios title match of Hangman and Brodito versus Swerve, and the New Day is who I think is going to be his tag team partners. even though I do think that that match is not going to be 3-on-3. It's probably going to be 6-on-6 with all the baby faces teaming up together, Swerve, New Day, Hangman, Brodito against The Demand and Lethal Twist. I think that for sure is getting added. If I can add one more, I would add a TBS championship matchup. Even though we're kind of getting the matchup that I wanted them to do at All In on Wednesday with the 4-way with Statlander, Persephone, Sheeta, and Maya World, but I would have done that matchup at All In. I would have done that at All In, get more women on the card, but hopefully they do something with the TBS championship or another women's match, definitely. So that would be the two. It would be something for the trios titles and another women's match of some kind. Tekla Open Challenge against the debuting Kairi Sane. That was the other thing. So three matches that I want at. I want 2 women's matches and 1 trios title match. We got Zach Minger joining us in the chat this morning. He says, good morning, SP3, Chrissy, and John. They ain't here right now. Well, hopefully John will be here. Chrissy, I have no idea. I think she said she was going on vacation, but then I asked again this week and got no answer. Got no answer for Dark Side of the Ring. Got no answer for the flagship, so I don't know. Hopefully she is fine, and hopefully she's doing well, and hopefully she sees this. Answer my messages. We got King Greg in the chat who says, good morning, everyone. G1 and D23 got me tired and hyped at the same time. Oh boy, we want to talk about that X-Men cast news. Man, that X-Men cast is fine as hell. Men and women, all of them is fine. That's a beautiful cast. That's a beautiful cast, and they gonna make Marvel a whole bunch of money. I am definitely sure of that. Bloody Money saying G1 semifinals saw Shun Skywalker joins the House of Turds. Yeah, doesn't get any better, right? No better there. Eric Isaac says, hey, THH fam, another wild week of wrestling as Fatal Influence is triple gold now. Godzilla Fatu arrives in NXT. Godzilla, nah. You wildin' with that. That's a cute little nickname, but you kind of wildin' with that. Ain't no way I'm calling him Godzilla Fatu. Matthew Hooks saying, hey everyone, hope Collision is decent tonight. I'm ready for All In. We also got King Greg who says, let's get this out of the way. LVP AI Anoki. That AI Anoki video, I had no clue whatsoever what the hell I was watching. No clue. I thought I tapped in on WWE Japan, NXT Japan. Why do we have an AI Anoki? That was scary. That was frightening. I was actually petrified seeing that. I'm gonna have nightmares about it. Luis saying good morning, morning everyone. How was the G1? G1's been great. This morning's semifinals was really, really, really good. I thought these 2 semifinals matchups were both great. Oiwa and Callum Newman had an excellent matchup based on their 2 styles, whereas Yota Tsuji and Uemura had more of the brilliant storytelling that you come to expect from a New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax, like late round matchup, semifinals, finals type of matchup. They delivered. All 4 guys, hats off to them because they delivered a great showing on today's show. What the fuck is Bloody Money talking about? He says the G1 semifinals were okay. Hiroshi Tenzan's retirement is the best of the night. No, it was not. I'm sorry. I'm all for giving these people their flowers. It was very touching, very wholesome, very inspiring. Tenzan's retirement was not better than Uemura versus Tsuji. Uemura versus Tsuji was the best thing on the show. But teaches. We got Shad who says, my brother SP3, shouts out to you. Shad's gonna be doing media at ROH next Friday. Congrats to you, man. We got Jeff J, who says that boy John snoring right now. Yeah, my messages to him are just going unanswered, completely ignored. I wish I could call him on air and y'all could we can wake him up together. Adrian Carpenter, who says, damn SB3, if you doing the Fightful Collision review tonight, it's gonna be a long, rough day, dude. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm probably gonna take a nap. I'm gonna talk to the family after this. I'm gonna take a nap after this. Luckily, tomorrow I have a basically free day until the evening when we do our X-Men 97 season 2 finale review over on Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment. Go over and subscribe. So I have basically a free day. So I might sleep a little bit later tomorrow morning. No, I can't because I'm watching G1. So yeah, my sleep schedule is all fucked right now. Shad saying Tekla versus Maya World. I don't like someone losing a world title and then immediately going for a mid-card title. I think that defines them down. Just my opinion. King Greg saying add a Tekla matchup. So he's in agreement with me. Real Nikki Boy saying I was hoping for a women's Casino Gauntlet. I kind of was too, because there's a lot of talent on the women's roster that aren't going to be featured on All In, and that would have been the best way to do it. Matthew Hooks agrees. He wants Tekla on the All In card. That Doomsday teaser was a lot of fun. I like that teaser more than I like the trailer. I felt like the teaser gave me a little bit more of what I was wanting. I wanted people more interacting with Doom. So now we know from this teaser that Doom is going to be start off this film somewhat of an ally to the Fantastic Four and our Avengers. So it's going to be interesting. We got Nikki Boy who says that's kind of requirement for the X-Men. This is true. We got another Hogue episode, but we'll get to it tomorrow. Indeed, we got Nikki Boy who says I just saw it because I'm watching the G1 semis right now. Who the fuck told them that was a good idea? I don't know. That AI Inoki was frightening. This is like, it's nightmare fuel. It is really nightmare fuel. Yeah, Tenzan can barely stand. God bless him. God bless him. The fact that he was able to get across the finish line, God bless the man. And we got another super chat donation. This time is from Adrian Carpenter. Thank you so much, Adrian, for the support. He says, now that Callum Newman is out of the G1, could he show on AEW to pay off United Empire / Death Rider story and spice up Omega Ospreay? No, I don't want him involved in the Omega Ospreay story whatsoever. The Omega Ospreay story is not at the level that I need it to be with 2 weeks left before All In, mainly because you've been trying to tell this story with everybody else except for the 2 guys that are actually in this story. So cut out the Don Callis family, cut out the Death Riders, cut out Callum Newman, cut out United Empire, make it about Ospreay and Omega. Those are the guys that's going to sell us on this matchup. Callum Newman being involved is not. Just is what it is. Is what it is. I hate to tell you. Let me see here. We got Nikki Boy who says, I'm still pretty indifferent about Doomsday, but I can't deny that Doom does look cool as shit. I'm kind of indifferent about it too. It does feel a little bit like they are just smashing together a whole bunch of comic book teams and just being like, hey, we're going to smash Avengers and X-Men together and make $1 billion. And it doesn't feel like it has the story punch to it that it needs to be. So I'm going to see if I can find a co-host for me right now, because I had someone just message me. I'm telling them I'm alone on THH. I was wondering, are you free? Are you free right now? Are you free right now to join me on THH? Please. We got also in the chat Nikki Boy who says facts SP, Kenny and Billy can do it on their own. Yeah, we got to stop like tossing in all these different people who like really it's not on them, and they are just convoluting the story that needs to be a little bit simpler, because you're trying to tell this kind of layered story of two baby faces who both have some type of edge to them. And if you're going to do that, that's one thing, but I don't necessarily feel like that is what's being done here. I feel like they are just making the story a little bit more confusing, and I don't think it's benefiting the story all that much. So, to each his own, but we'll see what happens with this whole story, how it transpires, how it turns out. But just make it about these two guys, please. Just make it about these two guys. I see. I got some suitors. I got some suitors in the chat. We got Shad from Wrestling Republic. He wants to join. All right, I will send you the link. We got Nikki Boy who says I would join you if I wasn't catching up. Oh, okay, you would join me if you wasn't catching up on the G1. Okay, fair enough. He says this is why he's the hardest working man on wrestling YouTube, holding down the fort in his own. I got to, man. I got no choice. I do this for y'all. Because I wouldn't watch half of the wrestling shows that we talk about on this show if it wasn't for y'all. I'll be quite honest. WWE would be out of my rotation if it was up to me, but I do it for y'all. We got also here Mr. Towns who says, what's up at THH and chat. SB3, did you see the cast of the X-Men reboot film? Yes. So what was her name? It was Lawson. Jane Lawson was the person that I thought was going to be the person to be Storm on the X-Men film. I kind of like it that it's an unknown actress, Maya Boyd, because Jane Lawson, I think she would have been great for the role. She looks the role very, very well too. She fits the role very well, but she was in the Batman. She didn't have like a comic book character that she was in the Batman for. She was the mayor's advisor, but she was in a major superhero film. So I like the fact that they got a basically unknown actress. She's more of a theater actress in Maya Boyd, and she's young. She's 23, 24 years old. She's going to be Storm for like the next decade, and I can't wait to see it. Very excited for that one. We've already known Sadie Sink as Jean Grey and Kit Connors as Cyclops. The big news was homie being chosen to be Mr. Sinister. That I felt like that was a sublime casting by Marvel to get him. I was gonna call him by his Star Wars name, but I think it's Adam Driver. Yes, Adam Driver. He is a great choice. I think that's a great choice. That's a pristine choice by Marvel to get him to be Mr. Sinister. So I like the fact that this cast is coming together. This cast looks pristine already. So I'm excited for the X-Men film in 2028. And yes, he's saying Adam Driver as Mr. Sinister is a great choice. We also got Luis who says Jerome to YouTube gets numbers. Try my best, brother. We got Nikki Boy who says, agree, they're making things way more complicated than need to be. We also got Ecuador. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate you in the chat. We got Willis Wheeler who says, I still say RDJ is not the real Doom, and we'll see the real Doom in the middle of Secret Wars. I mean, he could be a variant. He could be a variant of Tony Stark that has become Victor Von Doom in an alternate universe. There's so many different directions they can go, so I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Nikki Boy saying Jane Lawson was my first choice, but I dig them using an unknown actress, and as long as they have a chocolate woman as Storm, I'm in. We're in agreement there. We got Ryan Lambert who says, I've seen some plays Maya Boyd was in. She's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear for sure. We also got a super chat donation from our good friend Ryan Lambert who says, just popping in to show y'all at THH some love. Thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate the support. And this is why you gotta be open to those who want to lend a helping hand, because I have a co-host now. Finally, he is joining us from the Wrestling Republic podcast. Shad Tawks Graps is here, first time on the flagship. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm good, bro. You know, I've had, it's a Saturday. I'm off today, and luckily I caught you. You know, I'm subscribed to the channel. I got the notification bell on, and I saw you going live, and I saw my brother, and you know, he needed some help. This is what the troops are for, man. Coming through the backup. I'm excited to be on the flagship for the first time, man. This is dope, man.
Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you. Thank you so much. I need someone to talk about all this wrestling with. It would have been boring just me talking about it alone.
I've done. I remember I did literally the same thing happened to me hosting like a Dynamite review show. Like I think it was last year, and like one of my co-hosts, his internet just completely dropped, so he wasn't able to have no internet, and then somebody else had like some sort of emergency. So I did like the first 30 minutes. I did pretty much the entire show by myself, and then someone finally popped in for the last like segment that's part of our team. So it definitely is like, it feels awkward because you're like, man, I'm kind of talking about myself in a way, but luckily you got the comments popping on, man. You got incredible, you know, people supporting the channel that make this a lot easier to go through as well. Appreciate it, bro.
you know, I would have tried my best to get through it alone, but it's a lot more fun to talk wrestling with someone else. We got Josh, who yes, he did let me know. Josh was up to date. The only person I called out this morning was Miss Chrissy Love, because she did not answer the message that Josh answered to reconfirm that he was not going to be here today. So thank you, Josh, for confirming that. We also got a super chat donation here from Adrian Carpenter. Thank you so much, Adrian, for the support once again. He says, it's got to be hard for you, SP3, reviewing WWE. It's so bad, especially SmackDown, LOL. And they need to release Julia. They about to ruin her career. They about to. That would be the only thing. Yeah, I was like, they about to? And I disagree. I honestly felt like SmackDown was by far the best WWE TV show I saw this week.
It easily was. Honestly, I actually thought last night was the first time I watched SmackDown live in like about like a month and some change. And I was like, you know what? This is actually a pretty good episode. I thought like from start to finish, like something like meaningful happened within storylines and stuff like that. And even if I didn't enjoy it, at least it was entertaining to a standpoint. Like it wasn't turn off my TV type of, you know, bad. It was just like, all right. But, you know, I love it, man. I love seeing Phil Brooks just being, you know, fat phobic towards people, man. You know,
fat shaming people, being an awful person. This is exactly who I know Phil Brooks to be. So I appreciate him being honest for once.
Yeah. You know, that promo exchange felt so awkward.
Because the only thing I commented, because I don't tweet out for SmackDown, but I usually will message the Tru Heel Heat chat. And immediately after that promo, I was like, I get the feeling that CM Punk and Kevin Owens don't like each other. And it's not even like, oh, that segment was effective. They got me to believe they don't like each other. No, it's quite obvious how that segment went. They don't like each other.
So did you notice towards the tail end of the promo when like Owens kind of got close to him and he like smacked his like I was just like, okay, yeah, he really don't want to be in the ring talking to him and doing this like low key. Like there's legitimate, like there's still some static between both of them, which should be interesting for next week, man. But yeah, man. I mean, Phil's Phil, man. I mean, he plays the good front, but you know, nobody's perfect, right? But
yeah,
you know, yeah.
You gotta work around it. We got Nikki Boy, who says Phil is proving everyone right as always. Yeah, he thinks that he is like saying something that's proving people wrong, but no, you're still the awful person that we all know you are.
Yeah, man. like you call that man a fat ass. You gonna lay his fat ass down? Like, okay, like, oh, you standing 10 toes by what you said in the past. Like, you just confirmed
No,
it.
but he's not, because Kevin straight up asked him. He was like, say what you said to me in the past to my face. Call me an indie fat slob. Literally last week he was like, they called me skinny fat. You think they were waiting around for Kevin Owens? Basically alluding to him being fat.
Yeah.
So you did it last week, and then you're gonna turn around and be like, well, I didn't say that. I think that's what you think about yourself.
No,
I was like, you're lying. You're lying.
That's a good point. That, look, man, it's funny to me, and I'm not even on a boat where people are like trying to, like, I saw a couple posts, people were like, oh, it's just them like trying to like copy off the Eddie Kingston stuff. I'm like, nah, I think Eddie and Kevin just got the same like granted, they're both like, you know, in a similar build, right? And they both went through the same BS that Punk put them through. So it's just, it is what it is.
I will give, you know, so that whoever that person was some clearance and say that promo was laid out like an AEW promo. It was laid out like a CM Punk AEW promo more than it was a WWE style promo. It was more laid out like one of those Punk AEW. Like when they stood across the ring from each other, I was like, oh, they're doing the Punk and Kingston, Punk and MJF. Like, yeah. I remember those vividly. I remember the promos starting off with both guys standing in each corner, and WWE never does that. WWE
he wanted him to name his friends.
Yeah, he was like, it's more than just the three of them. It's all. I was like, I love this. I clapped for that part. Yeah. I was like, yes.
Yeah, really I thought Kevin put belt to Phil last night. Personally,
Kevin won that promo. But the last 2 weeks, Kevin's won the promo.
Yeah, he has. Like, and it, like, I don't, like, to me, I don't know, like, how anybody could, like, I don't think there's like a definitive babyface and heel, I guess, in this storyline, but like Kevin is, to me, way more looking like a babyface compared to Punk, especially after last night. So
yeah, definitely. We got here Short King the Goat, who says Punk, if y'all notice, never really addressed in full what the issues he's had with people who have issues with him. He does this passive aggressive stuff to not reveal much when people aren't clueless. We know. Yeah. That's the thing that pisses me off about Punk, is that
I hate people like that in general.
He always, yeah, exactly. Like, I hate that in general in a person who doesn't want to say why they are mad at the person or they don't like a person. They will just use the fact that they don't like them as the reason why they hate it. And I'm just like, dude, you started all of this. You called them out. You need to, like, if you're the babyface, if you're going to be presented as any type of babyface in this program, you need to explain what the fuck was going on in your head in 2005 that made you chastise Kevin Owens in Ring of Honor. That's what you need to figure out. You need to figure out that you have changed from that person. You're not that person anymore. I'm convinced. And you need to be like, you know what I did before, that was wrong. That was my whole thing. That was my whole hang up with the Roman Reigns CM Punk program, is that Punk kept going around being like, well, I don't care. I sprung up his father. And then at the very end of the go home show, he's like, yeah, I was wrong for bringing up your father. Nigga, you could have said this 3 weeks ago.
Facts. That's a good point. That's his personality, though, at the end of the day. Like, I feel like, and KO is right. Everything. This is like, Punk is having a lot of success coming back this time around the WWE. I'm not denying that whatsoever. But this is truthfully his, like, if this was to, crash and burn, it's done. He's done with professional wrestling. There's nowhere else he's going back to. He's not going back over there. And there isn't anywhere else really worth going to his regard. I mean, I know people love TNA TNA. They ain't got the money to afford him. Be told. So
they don't.
If they sign one CM Punk, I guess 78% of the roster will be gone the next day because what they got to dish out to pay him. So this is his last Raw. And the reason he did go back there is because it crashed and burned in AEW. Like, and however anybody wants to view that standpoint. I'm not, look, that has been an ongoing debate that I've had with my peers at Wrestling Republic. There are people that view stuff on one side and the other side. Cool, however you may be. But there, as a person, and you can hear from how he talks, especially the most telling thing was when he did the interview with Buddy Hawani. I'm like, he's showing his hand and his true colors as who he is. And y'all to like go out like that person never changes at the end of the day. Like, so, and there's cracks of that visibly shown in particular programs that he's had, particularly yesterday with KO in the last 2 weeks, a little bit with Roman, you know, a little bit with Seth, Drew, like you see it. And he's doing the best of his ability. Like they put him in a situation where they're trying to like blur the lines a little bit. And it hasn't like, the boat hasn't like just tipped over yet, but you never know what could happen.
It's true. It's going to be interesting for sure. But we're going to talk more about the CM Punk Kevin Owens promo from last week when we get over to WWE. As always, with our Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast, we like to start things off with our Tru Heel roll call, shouting out all of you supporting us across social media, our Patreon page, as well as our other social media platforms. Our top 3 conversation starters on our Tru Heels group page on Facebook. We got Jermaine Packin, we got Joe Bellini, and Stewie John Palmer. Our Patreon backers and members, we got Valub, Aya, Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, Professor Chris, Trey, Robert, Steve, Ladarius, Chase, King Greg, Louisville, Allen, John Martin, Dolores, James, Allen, Santo, Justin Rich, Chuck Berries, Dan, Josh D from CT, Dion Jenkins. We got Luis, and we got Jordan from Canada. Thank you so much supporting us over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, as well as here on the channel. Hit the join button and become a member for just $1 a month. You get exclusive content, and you always get shouted out on our roll call. But I was going to do this for the benefit of my usual co-host, so it's for the benefit of you, Shad. We're going to start with AEW this week. We're gonna save the pain for the end of the show. AEW Collision this week, they did 418,000 viewers. They was up from the week prior that did 362,000 last Saturday. The show featured the start of the Continental Challenge Cup, with Claudio Castagnoli defeating Ace Austin in a great opener to the show. You also had Orange Cassidy. He picked up a win over Matt Sydal in a good bout, while Eddie Kingston made his return to AEW television, where he scored a victory over Jake Doyle in a solid main event for Claudio, Orange, and Kingston to all advance in the Continental Challenge Cup. You had the Brawling Birds, who scored a victory over Viva Van and Vert Vixen in tag team action. Post-match, the Divine Dominion jumped their opponents for All In London. Hikaru Shida and Persephone overcame Hyan and Maya World in a decent tag team bout, while the Death Riders picked up a win over Jungle Jack Perry and the Bang Bang Gang in a super fun 8-man tag. And finally, Speedball Mike Bailey beat Myron Reed of the Rascals in an awesome bout on the show. And that led in nicely into this Wednesday's AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite, the show featured this week the #1 contender for the AEW World Championship, Will Ospreay, opening up the program to talk about his Grand Slam Mexico win, his grandfather passing away last year, and calling out Kenny Omega for not showing up last week. This brought out Don Callis, who went over his history with Omega and Ospreay until the Don Callis family jumped Will in the ring. This led to the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega making the save with a lead pipe, and then he cut a promo on Ospreay about always warning him about the Don Callis family, Jon Moxley, the Death Riders, even MJF, and Will being too stubborn to listen to him. After Kenny warned Will that he can't help him again, Ospreay responded by saying that he did not ask for the help and he doesn't need it anymore. This led, speaking of the AEW World Championship, you had Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. He scored a victory over Nick Wayne and Speedball Mike Bailey in a banger to earn the number 2 spot in the men's Casino Gauntlet at AEW All In London. Post-match, MJF cut a promo about being the one true champion and winning the Casino Gauntlet at All In. Mercedes Moné got the drop on Willow Nightingale, jumping her during a sit-down interview with Renee Paquette, while some poor WWE fan in the crowd yelled that he misses Sasha. Someone find Sasha for him. Who is Sasha? Anyway, you had Kevin Knight, the Jet. He scored a victory over Chris Jericho to retain the TNT Championship in a match that Dave Meltzer inconspicuously rated 4.25 stars, even though it had one of the worst finishes of the year. But anyway, post-match, later on in the show, you had Darby Allin, who issued a challenge to Kevin Knight for Falls Count Anywhere for the TNT title at All In. Women's action had Chris Statlander picking up a win over Viva Van, while she cut a promo with Mick Foley, who announced that there will be a 4-way for the TBS Championship next week on Dynamite. That led into Maya World and Thunder Rosa overcoming Hikaru Shida and Persephone after a miscue between the heels ahead of the 4-way. Don Callis informed Kyle Fletcher in the most hilarious way possible that he will defend the AEW International Championship against both Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita in a 3-way at AEW All In London. Jay White toppled David Finlay in a very good matchup, while Jon Moxley picked up a win over Jungle Jack Perry in a terrific main event for both Switchblade and Mox to advance in the AEW Continental Challenge Cup. Moxley and White will now be in the blind draw for the quarterfinal matchups. And then finally, you had the new AEW World Trios Champions, Hangman Adam Page and Brodito. They cut a promo about their win last week, which brought out the returning Swerve Strickland. Swerve confronted the new champions, called out their alliance being those who had lost to him or have history with him. This brought out the Demand and Lethal Twist to call out Swerve for getting in Trios titles business without any partners. After Ricochet told him to get the step in, Swerve got the last laugh by calling him a bitch before Hangman says they can come for the titles anytime they want. That was AEW from this past week. You can start with Collision, or we could just talk about Dynamite. But what did you think about AEW 2 weeks ahead of All In London? Shots.
So I thought Collision was good. I feel like Collision kind of moved a lot of pieces in regards to this tournament, or whatever. This is a tournament, right? For the Continental C3 is that what they're calling it? That's what Ben calls it.
Yeah, they literally added. It was first called Continental Cup on television, and then on before Saturday show they added the Continental Challenge because they realized people were just gonna call it C2.
Yeah, so I thought it was fun. I thought it was a solid episode, and I guess more or less, going in 2 weeks into it, for me, Dynamite. It wasn't the best episode, in my opinion. It wasn't the best. It wasn't. And maybe I'm feeling a little rewarded because the last 2 episodes were so sensational. Like everybody was saying, the Mexico show that they had in the week prior to it were like 2 of the best Dynamites of the entire year. Where this one felt a little bit more flat, but the things of intrigue to me are we are moving and progressing a lot of the storylines. I thought the Ospreay segment with Kenny was interesting. I like that Kenny is kind of big broing him a little bit right now, basically telling him look, man, you not really locked in right now, and if you're not locked in, I'm gonna smoke you in your home country, and it's gonna be bad. And I still like the uncertainty with Ospreay from returning back and joining the Death Riders. Like you can tell that there is a monkey on his back, and he's really trying to get it off, and he's really fighting within himself. I feel like that does create good story for this matchup where Kenny to me is not being like a full-on heel, but he is being an antagonist towards him, and I do like that aspect of it. And I thought they did a good direction for that. So with Collision, obviously, Maya World and Hyon lost to the team that Maya World won with somebody that's not her tag team partner, and that kind of frustrated me a little bit. Okay. What did Hyon do?
Hyon didn't get over at the same time as Maya World. No, that's all she did.
She didn't. I'm like, y'all got the theme song together, but she won with Thunder Rosa. The Fatal 4-Way being set, I thought that's interesting that they're having it next week. And I'm going to actually be in the building next Wednesday in Baltimore for that. So nice. I'm interested, though, like, what the direction for that title is. Like, are we just going to keep it off All In, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was very interesting. Like, I think I said it earlier that because we had a super chat from Matthew Hooks that asked what matches I would add to All In, and I was like, something with the TBS title. That's what I would want. Like, I wanted this 4-way to be for All In, to get all 4 ladies on that card, but it seems like it's going down this week. So I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, or if the TBS championship is gonna be on the show.
And let me ask you this, because I did the Dynamite review show this Thursday, and one of my co-hosts, Aunt Yu, said something. He says he doesn't necessarily like how Maya World's matches have been booked thus far. He says he feels like they're kind of leaning into that underdog aspect, like every single match, where she kind of just gets it by the skin of her teeth, like every match. And you kind of even saw it this past week where it had to lead to the, and obviously I think it makes sense with Sheeta and Persephone being in that match for them to kind of butt heads, and it lead to that. But do you think like Maya World is like they're making her a little bit too much of an underdog from what we had obviously with the Owen to where we are now?
I just think that Maya World is still pretty green. I think that she got over, and I appreciate AEW not going the WWE route of punishing her for getting over. They gave her a TBS championship because she got over, but she's still very green. So I think there's a reason why her matches are being booked like that.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, honestly, I would say Hyon is actually better in ring than Maya.
I think so too, personally. I don't actually disagree with that. Like, because to me, it's like, all right, like her and Mercedes had a phenomenal match against each other, and I thought they told an incredible story to that regard. But then you had her go against Sheeta at the last pay-per-view, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll be frank with you. I thought the match was not very good, to be honest.
What, the Sheeta and Maya World?
Yeah.
That was not good.
So
and the only reason it wasn't the worst match on the show is because it followed the double chain match.
Oh my God, yeah. So, and I worry for that standpoint though, because like the belt needs to kind of elevate the superstar. So I hope she's able to stay elevated in a way, and it doesn't like kind of be like, all right, what are we doing with her as champion? And then she loses it, and then she goes to whatever purgatory it may be. Like, I mean, going to like the tag division wouldn't be a bad route, obviously, because she's got a tag team partner. But like more or less, it's kind of like, okay, maybe we'll just kind of have you off TV for a little bit because we don't know you wasn't able to get over. It happens. Unfortunately, it happens in the American companies with women's wrestling in particular.
Quite often. Yeah, it happens a lot. But we finally got the man, the myth, the legend, the founder and face of Dirt Sheet Radio has awakened from his West Coast slumber. The one and only Jon Escudero has joined us. How you doing, John?
What's up, everybody? My fucking eyeballs burn, bro. That 10-zone retirement.
That went on so long. That went on so long.
An hour, like a literal hour. Like, bro, when the matches were over, I was like, oh, great. This is going to be great. I'm going to get like 4 hours. This shit did not end. Holy shit.
I cut it. Once he left the ring and he didn't do a moonsault, I was like, all right, I'm going to cut this off. I don't need to see him clap hands with the fans.
I thought it was gonna be just that, and then fucking Izuka came out and just beat his ass. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch the whole shit now. I'm here though. I'm alive. How's everybody?
Doing well. Shad, John, Shad.
What's up, brother?
What's good, bro? I had to, substitute teacher for a second, man.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
He wanted to make the hot tag. I was doing this tag team matchup alone, and I didn't have anyone in the corner. I'm facing peril, and then Shad came out, put his hand out. I made the hot tag. But now you're here, so we can have this trios matchup. John, what did you think about AEW Dynamite this week or Collision? I agree with what Chad said. I thought it wasn't especially coming off of 2 weeks of Dynamites that I gave like 9 out of 10. And I disagree with what I think it was Willis Wheeler said in the chat. He said sometimes with AEW television is 2 weeks of banger wrestling shows and then 2 weeks of more storytelling shows before the pay-per-views. The first week after Redemption was a great storytelling show. Because all you remember from that show is the two promos. That's a storytelling show.
I gotta say,
that's
the
not
one
a wrestling
with
show.
Ospreay and Omega and then the Willow and Mercedes. Yeah, that one was like more. That one felt like because it was mostly the promos that kind of built it up, and then obviously but that's the other thing though. The episode last week, like it had to be like that because it was a spectacle because they were in Arena Mexico and whatnot. So
I just think that this week it just didn't hit. It just didn't hit the mark like the last 2 weeks. What did you think, though, John?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a come down from last week. Like John just said, it was fucking. Last week was like Arena Mexico. That shit was awesome. I did want to see how they follow that up, and it didn't hit. There was a couple things particularly that stood out to me. I thought that this was probably the worst Jericho match since he's been back with Kevin Knight.
And I thought the match was going along smooth until they just botched that finish.
The finish ruined it
completely. It was like you were building a house of cards and then you put the card in the wrong place and the whole thing just collapsed.
Yeah, it was moving kind of slow for me. I was like, oh shit, look at that. Some motherfucker Jericho's tired. Maybe he shouldn't be wrestling every single week. Maybe he should just some Wednesdays he should just run on the treadmill or something. I don't know. But there's that, and the Kenny Omega Will Ospreay segment I thought was a little awkward. I was like, oh, this is weird. This isn't as good as the one they had a couple weeks ago.
Because they made it because they keep trying to insert other things. Why can't we just get our Kenny Omega Will Ospreay story? Like the promo hit it out the park when it was just about them. Why are you involving the Death Riders, the Don Callis family? Freaking, I've heard people in the chat suggesting United Empire and Callum Newman should show up. I'm like, just make it about these two.
I saw what they were going for with Don Callis, at least with the he's trying to like frame the whole story of Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. It's just when the family got involved, it's like, all right, like what. I guess the idea is that Ospreay's alone, so he just keeps getting jumped by random groups of but like it does take away from Ospreay and Omega, which I do want them to get to the meat of that. Like we only have one episode, 2 episodes left, so that was another thing that stuck out to me, and I think that's. And then the other stuff I can't remember off the top of my head, so couldn't have been that.
I just think that this week really needed a big angle to hype up one of these all-in card matches that are already announced. Because I thought like the big angle, and we'll talk about the news coming out of Swerve's return. I thought that was like the most noteworthy moment, most interesting thing on the show, but that's a match that's not announced even yet. It's still not announced. So that's setting up something new for the card. You needed a big angle for your like you set up Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita and Okada, and I thought you did that superbly in 3 minutes in a backstage segment, and it probably was the best part of the show for me. Just Don Callis being a carny and being buddy cops with freaking Okada, making that matchup. That was like the best part. But if you were gonna make a matchup, you should have done like an angle to set it up, like Darby Allin coming out and exploding Kevin Knight after his title match to set up the falls count. Something the fact that you had Mercedes and Willow in the building and all you decided to do was a 2-minute pre-tape, that's just inexcusable.
It's like we talked about this before. Sometimes they just kind of lean on the fact that we know this is gonna be awesome. Like Ospreay and Omega, it feels like that sometimes. Like they're just like, we got the big promo out of the way. The match is gonna be good. Don't worry about it. Like come on, but I wanted to feel really heated. Chuck,
this is not. He's kind of spitting because this is not the first time that we have made comparison, because Jimmy Baccaram famously on this channel said Jon Moxley is the Deborah McMichaels to the Austin and Rock that is Omega and Ospreay, and I agreed with it. This is very akin to Austin and Rock, where WWE just insisted upon putting Deborah McMichaels in, putting Triple H and Kurt Angle involved in that story, when the story could have just been about Austin and Rock. And what we remember about that story from 25 years ago is the Austin and Rock stuff. So I don't understand why Tony Khan is not learning from history.
Well, you just need, I guess, if that's the comparison, I guess you just need one Jim Ross segment to set it on its fucking set it on its way. But oh man, that crowd was fucking shit. I've been in that building too. Like I was just in that building in April for Slam Fest or whatever the fuck it's called, and I guess because it was a WrestleMania crowd, people were hyped. The building felt good, and then the sound was great. And tonight, this shit was a WWE crowd, and I mean that, and they legitimately were a WWE crowd. They were screaming "Sasha, come home" and shit.
They gave Jericho a standing ovation after his matchup.
We fucking love this.
You know what? It really may have been it may have just been like just WWE fans, but like, oh, there's a wrestling show happening. But how much?
It is Vegas. Like I think you have much better things to do. So I could see if a WWE fan was just in Vegas and saw, wrestling, let me go to that.
That's how it felt.
Tourists, probably just tourists and shit too. Like being
it was dead silent. Like for moments that would have been a big pop anywhere. A Swerve coming back. Like what the fuck was that? It was dead silent. This crowd is ass. Like this crowd sucks.
Yeah, they did not.
Well, I do know that Mercedes and Willow are on Collision tonight, but I've read the spoilers. Still isn't the angle that I'm wanting. Mercedes facing Zeta Steel and Willow coming out post match doesn't do anything for me.
That's default.
I'm not going to tell you who won. I'm not going to spoil it completely.
But
we
already know.
That's the thing.
Mercedes fuck around loses Zeta Steel before.
Zeta Steel just earned herself a world title shot.
It's salute to Zeta Steel. She from around my way, but I mean, come on, man. Happy for her, you get to wrestle Mercedes, but yeah, I mean, that's one thing I find like okay is like those matches just for that point, like where it's gonna be like just enhancement matches or like squash matches for particular wrestlers where it's just like okay, like and then they just cut a promo after it.
It feels like too much though that AEW. Well, I know with Collision it's kind of there that you're going to have matches that is really obvious who's going to win. Right. But the reason I want to bring this up is that the Continental Challenge Cup desperately needs an upset. Like you can't just do these matches and Orange Cassidy versus Matt Sydal. Oh, I wonder who's winning that. Claudio Castagnoli versus Ace Austin. I wonder who's winning that. Honestly, Eddie Kingston winning.
I was about to say,
even though he's a former
right?
Continental champion, him winning was probably the biggest upset we've gotten so far. And like I said, I read the spoilers on Collision. It's probably the biggest upset of the first round.
Yeah, it was. And I can't lie to you. Just because they put so much investment into big man, like, I was just like, dang, he took a lot. And I love Eddie, but like, Eddie's like, he's ice cold right now. Like, he hasn't really been doing a whole lot prior to it. So I guess it does give you that bit of a shock value, but it's also like, I mean, you've been really helped, like, heating the other guy up by a lot, like the last like couple months, and having like incredible matches and stuff. And for him to lose to Kingston is just like, okay.
I was surprised they didn't have Speedball in there or something. Like, there's doesn't seem to be anything for Speedball this year. I don't know what's up with that. Like, ever since the Kevin Knight thing, they just kind of dropped him on his ass and sent him on his way.
He's just gonna be in the Casino Gauntlet now.
That fucking stinks. I mean, it's
I mean, it stinks that MJF is just in a Casino Gauntlet. And it does not make any sense that he's telling us he's the one true champion, yet he's going to be in a Casino Gauntlet to get a shot at the real championship. You're either the one true champion, and you should be defending your Triple B to establish that this is the one true championship at All In against Andrade. That was the simplest thing to do. Instead, they're using his star power to elevate the Casino Gauntlet, and I don't know if that's going to be effective.
From what
said the same shit on Thursday, bro.
from what I've heard, it's just the inability to have him in a singles match at the moment. Like, he's just fucked as far as like leg wise, but really wants to work All In.
Somebody in the comments on Thursday was telling me, well, it doesn't make sense for Andrade and MJF to fight at the pay-per-view.
It does make sense, and they definitely were going in that direction at one point.
I'm just gonna put this out here. MJF's knee is banged up. Don't get me wrong. It's not as bad as they're making it out to be. He can do a singles match. He can definitely do a singles match.
What you're risking is MJF though. Like, you like at this point, I think he's gonna take time off after All In. I just think he didn't want I'm honestly surprised he's working All In because it's All In. No. What I'm telling you is that I have it on good authority from people within AEW Creative and within Ospreay Circle that MJF was thinking about taking off All In completely. Yeah, before any injury happened, when he knew he was going to be the world champion, he had already said that in the locker room. So that's funny as hell.
I don't blame him, bro.
I don't blame him either. I don't blame him
carrying the flag all year, and they say, "Ah, you can't be the world champion. You're not that main of it's Kenny." And I love Kenny and Will. Like, I understand it, but there's a precedent, in my opinion, for like somebody like for Max and Tekla. Honestly, like, I get the big time matches that we have with Mercedes and Willow, and then Will and Kenny. It makes sense. They've done a good job building those two matches as well. But those two have been kind of like the focal points of your men's and women's division the entire year. And they don't have like that big match for your biggest show. Like, I don't know. The optics feel a little crazy to me on that.
Definitely do. I know I can't be like, there's certain things I can't say, but I know that MJF is absolute. Like, I know the knee isn't broken because if it was, he wouldn't be able to work at all. But I know for a fact that the motherfucker, if he does a singles match at All In 20 minutes, something worth MJF's stature, like he's gonna fuck it up. He's gonna be out for longer than they already plan on him being out in the fall. So it's like I only know that.
Yes. Yeah, no. I'm not gonna say what you're hearing is wrong. All I'm saying is that I'm hearing something much different, and that he could definitely work this one. And it has more to do, it doesn't have to do with the knee injury. From what I've been told, he doesn't feel Andrade is big enough to do a singles match with at all.
It's
I am saying that because I've heard it from multiple people within AEW have told me.
Damn, y'all motherfuckers are starting shit, bro.
How you know? Buddy got himself over. Like, he's Andrade got the juice, bro. Like, I can't even lie. Like, this is Like I've always been so hard on him as a like just in prior to. I'm like, man, I think he might be a little full of himself. He think he a little bit more than he thinks he is. But now I'm just like, damn, maybe he kind of do got it. Like maybe I kind of see the vision that he's seen with him.
I just feel that Max is gonna work a singles match at All Out, and we're gonna realize what's the deal. What was the real deal here?
If he does work a singles match at All Out, would he just be Andrade? Like that's the only story.
He probably will, yes,
so,
because
like,
he does not feel what I've been told. He does not feel Andrade is a big enough star for a one-on-one match with him at All In. All In, specifically All In. He does not mind facing him in a singles match on a pay-per-view. All In, the biggest show of the year. He feels like if he's in a singles match, he should be the world title matchup. If he's not in a world title matchup, he'll be in the gauntlet.
Ooh. Doesn't even make sense on a human level. Like, would you not just want the spotlight? Like, you're gonna get 20 plus minutes of spotlight on MJF, whether it's Andrade or a world title match. So, like, taking away the spotlight from yourself on the show doesn't hurt the show.
What you're saying is 100% right. But also, reason why I feel confident that what I was told is true, he did the same shit last year. Last year, Tony wanted him to face Mark Briscoe at All In. He said, Mark Briscoe ain't big enough to face me at All In one-on-one. That's why they were in the Casino Gauntlet.
But I love Mark Briscoe. Last year, he was probably right.
No. I'm not saying MJF was wrong last year. I'm not saying he was wrong last year. But I think that this is a precedent that we already saw it last year, and he's doing it again this year.
I think that's why people assume, like, once you already do something like that and this happens, people are immediately going to start talking to each other and telling each other, man, he's doing the same shit.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
That's probably.
I feel frustrated for Tony Khan. You're like, all right,
I can't even imagine. Like, his job has to be the worst fucking job in history. Like, how do you? And sometimes I'll be baffled. Like, why would you let someone do something like they're under your contract, bro? Like, you can just put your foot down.
It's difficult. We see with someone who's been in the business, who's been a top guy in Triple H. That nigga don't want to deal with politics and people's mouths whatsoever. So God bless Tony Khan for dealing with that shit for 7 years.
You're right. Someone who's got it. People who create whatever reputation about him, regardless of what it is. Granted, this man is fucking putting food on y'all's family's tables time after time, but it's true, man. I mean, egos are egos at the end of the day. I mean, that's you going. Some people think that they are way bigger than the job. I'm not saying Max, by the way, but just in general, like I definitely understand. I respect with TK and how he has to handle his business for sure, man.
Yeah, that shit is rough because I don't know. As a parent too, sometimes I'm just gonna power through this. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think. We're doing this tonight. That's life. You know, we got other places you can work if you don't like that. I'll speak to you in a year and a half when contract time comes up. If you make it that long, because you're giving me trouble right now and you're pissing me off. So we'll see.
Well, let's talk about the big moment from Dynamite this week, which was definitely Swerve Strickland making his return for the first time since Forbidden Door on the show. And a new report has shed more light on what this means for the AEW debut of The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Austin Creed. As noted, Kofi and the former Xavier Woods exited WWE this past May after rejecting a restricted deal offered by TKO. The duo has since been speculated to end up in All Elite Wrestling. They also this week announced that they will be set as the grand guest on the Jericho Cruise this November. So further connection to AEW there. Earlier this week, you had Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reported that Kofi and Austin Creed are expected to be AEW bound. In this week's issue of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer noted that the former WWE superstars have been expected to end up in AEW ever since they rejected a 50% pay cut from TKO and WWE. Meltzer further added that AEW EVPs, the Young Bucks, have been wanting to feud with Kofi and the former Xavier Woods for years. Meltzer also touched on the segment featuring Swerve Strickland, The Demand, The Lethal Twist, and the World Trios champions Hangman Adam Page and Brodito from this week's Dynamite. With the Lethal Twist and the Demand failing to upstage, the Lethal Twist are challenging Page and Brodito for the titles on Collision. Meltzer thinks, though, that it will be a three-way matchup for the trios titles. He thinks that is likely for All In London, featuring Hangman, Page, and Brodito defending the AEW World Trios Championships against The Demand, Ricochet, and GOA, and Swerve Strickland, Kofi, and Austin Creed. What did you think about Wednesday, the Swerve return, and did you immediately assume that he will be teaming up and aligning with the New Day? And secondly, do you think this is the best way to debut the New Day if they are going to arrive at All In, or would you rather them show up as just a tag team separate from Swerve? Shot?
Yeah, I think it pretty much confirmed that's going to be the direction. I spoke about it on Thursday. Like, that smirk on Swerve's face when, like, Ricochet was saying that you ain't got no friends. I'm like, he's like, that's what you think, motherfucker. Look what I got in the back of my pocket over here. Like, you don't know what I'm holding on. I got a couple in the chamber, and I think that is the direction. Look, I think it's not a bad route, because I don't think you need to, like, once you have Xavier and Kofi on the roster, you can always get to them versus the Young Bucks. I know that is what everybody wants as a fan. That's that dream match. As long as they're on the roster, we're going to get that. The Bucks aren't going anywhere. They're not going to go anywhere once they sign. That's fine and dandy. For me, I think it's an interesting route. I feel like it's something completely different. I know the big elephant in the room is like, oh, why are they joining a trio with Swerve? What about the New Day? The New Day's done, guys. They're not the New Day no more. This is a new chapter in their lives. This is a new route that they can embark in as characters with creative liberty and freedom. And to me, that's where I'm a little bit intrigued, because I think Swerve is an incredible storyteller and a great character. And I feel like he can do stuff with them that can, like, think about before obviously Keith Lee was, out of commission for injuries and health and stuff, the Swerve in My Glory, that shit was fire. Like, they were cooking on that. To me, it's something that you can really, create a good influx in them, have them debut at All In or whatever they debut. I would assume they would debut in All In. Maybe it would be like a surprise team or whatever. And that creates a big time match too, because I mean, you got to have Hangman, you got to have Swerve in some match on All In. Brodito is worthy of it. Gates of Agony and Ricochet are worthy of it as well. I mean, I know people have criticisms towards Ricochet. I think he's been incredible since coming into AEW, and I love the Demand as a team. And it gives some for the trios division, because that title to me, I felt like they should have just cut it loose if it wasn't any direction. So all in all, I feel like I have a bit of excitement for it. And one last thing, the Lethal Twist is the worst fucking name I've ever heard in my entire life in professional wrestling. That shit sounds so strange and so weird. I don't like it at all. I don't like that. I want them to lose in 20 seconds tonight.
Well, there you go. There you have it there. The Swerve and New Day teaming up as a trio was actually something that we first talked about, John, when we were on air on this show, when the New Day news broke off. I think it took us literally like 5 minutes before we were waxing lyrically about a potential Swerve and New Day versus the Elite. And now it seems that this is a possibility. What do you think? Do you think this is the best way to introduce the New Day to AEW, or would you rather them come in alone, separate from Swerve?
Well, the thing about that was that the Bucks are just busy. Like, I was worried that they were just so excited for the New Day and the Bucks that they were just gonna insert them into whatever's going on. Oh, please don't do that. Like, you've been building this all this time. Don't get fucking excited because you got new WWE blood. Like finish what you're fucking doing. So aligning the New Day with Swerve, we talked, like you said, we talked about that immediately. We know Swerve has respect for them, like on a level that they deserve. Like so it was like it felt like a no-brainer. Like he had already mentioned Kofi on TV. It's canon that Swerve Strickland at least fucks with Kofi Kingston, And on top of that, you want to completely separate them from what the New Day was. Like it's no easier to do that than to stick them with the fucking Swerve Strickland, the maniac, the fucking murderer, the dangerous, crazy person. Now, of course, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, I hope it doesn't change Swerve. Like I imagine we're just gonna have Swerve and a new version of Kofi and Austin Creed, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to the most. So I don't want to see any rehashes. I want to see what they come up with. I'm excited though. It's a good thing. Now I hope that Swerve and the New Day thought of it though, because I don't know, as Tony Khan, how do you approach the New Day with that? Yeah. So hear me out. We're gonna replace Big E. That's a wild way to start the conversation.
That is a bad way to start that. We're gonna give you a Big E replacement. How about it?
So I imagine they came up with that. Like I think they've got some good ideas if that's the case too. Like it's gonna be real interesting. And when they do eventually get involved with the Elite, now you have this Swerve Strickland Kenny Omega element that you can come back to from earlier this year. Swerve tried to kill that man and didn't really come back to do anything about it. So also it really made the Hangman Bandito Brody thing make a lot of sense, because I was just kind of like, Hangman has done this before where he's just like, hey, you guys are cool, we're trios now. So I just kind of looked at it like that. And then when Swerve came on, he was like, this is like some kind of trauma bonding exercise. I was like, oh shit, wait a minute. Yeah, absolutely right. Holy shit. So yeah, that was a cool little moment of, oh wow, that's why that happened. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is actually some thought was put into this. This is nice. And then Chuck Berry saying, I just don't want Kofi and Austin to fall into the same category as Hurt Syndicate did now, very being true. Kind of lost in the AEW shuffle. I kind of feel Hurt Syndicate did that to themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think Kofi and Austin are gonna have the same problem as them.
I never thought, or at least Lashley don't really fit AEW in my opinion. I think that's kind of and then MVP can't wrestle really, bro. So it's like Shelton fits it as like Shelton was cooking when.
If Shelton was separate, he would still be on AEW television.
Yeah,
I love MVP, but I get this feeling like he's talking them into a hole, bro. Like, we don't gotta lose this one, man. And Tony's like, you know what? You're right. You don't.
I won't book you in this one
at all.
Oh man, so yeah, I think the Hurt Syndicate is a different situation that I don't necessarily feel Creed and Kofi will be in at the same time. However, one last question when it comes to this and the segment on Dynamite, because me personally, I feel like the route they should go is either what Dave Meltzer is suggesting, the three-way with Hangman and Brodito versus The Demand versus Swerve and New Day, or it should be Swerve and New Day versus Hangman and Brodito. But I feel that's what my heart wants, but my head is telling me Tony Khan's gonna have New Day be the fifth and sixth guy on the babyface team against The Demand and Lethal Twist in a 6-on-6 stadium stampede or whatever he wants to call it. His big multi-man brawl on the card.
Yeah, I mean, I I wouldn't be interested in seeing that. Honestly, I just want to get it.
I wouldn't either. When I saw that segment, I was like, "This is not what I want," but this is what Tony Khan would do.
That stinks. I'm not. I mean, because then they're just gonna do it at All Out instead. I guess there's some idea there. Like, we gotta do something on the next pay-per-view, but
Yeah, that'd be pretty
I
awful.
might too.
I mean, it won't be awful. It'll be an entertaining match, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's just I'm not trying to be like a lethal twist hater, but like they kind of bring that down a lot. They kind of like.
I'm a fan of Blake Christian. I'm a fan of Jay Lethal. I think Lee Johnson has improved greatly, but yeah, I mean, them being the secondary trio to the demand, I don't think does anything for anybody. So
For sure.
Yeah, it's just they've been on the bottom of the card for so long that they feel like the bottom of the card. So there's no
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like the ROH guys, like for most of the time. Like, honestly, to even
they're
like
gonna be on Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah. So that's the point. Like, I mean, I know not even all AEW audience watches Ring of Honor like extensively either. So they're probably like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about these guys. Where they been at?"
Probably
Like,
just
welcome
needed a little longer to establish them exclusively on AEW TV. Like, I know they've been on AEW TV more often lately, and I know Blake Christian had a big moment in Mexico. But it's just the idea they're still on Ring of Honor. You know, like they're still at Death Before Dishonor. They're not exactly Athena. You know, you can't you don't get that aura from them. They, like I said, they feel like the bottom of the card. So anything they're attached to feels like it's getting dragged down. So I mean, I actually don't mind the demand thing. I just separate them from Ring of Honor. Then, like having a higher try to start to build that profile.
All right, but that's not the only big news when it comes to potential WWE stars heading to AEW, because Bayley has found herself back in the news again because apparently she's pissed off WWE. In recent weeks, there have been many questions surrounding former WWE Women's Champion Bayley and what she will do next, as it's believed her WWE contract will expire later this year. Dave Meltzer had an update on Bayley's contract status during this week's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. According to Meltzer, Bayley has not yet signed a new deal with WWE. Meltzer speculated that Bayley will return to WWE programming if and when she signs a new deal, and he compared this to Tony Khan's method of taking a wrestler off TV when their contract is nearing expiration until they sign a new deal. He added that if Bayley doesn't come back and re-sign with WWE, the promotion will have her loss at WWE Saturday Night's Main Event be her last matchup and her way of being written off of WWE television. Bayley got some attention via a training video that she posted featuring Mercedes Moné and more, and a new report has notes on the reaction to it inside WWE. As reported, the WWE superstar has not yet signed they re-signed a WWE deal with their contract set to expire later this year. Amid speculation about her future, Bayley posted a video to her Instagram account where she was training with Mercedes Moné and other wrestlers. The video notably uses the Crouch and Ali's song All In, and she captioned the post, "All or nothing, baby." According to WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select, the video did not land well with everyone backstage in WWE. No word on whether that just means some talent backstage, whether there is heat on the management level, or some mix thereof. Bayley has been off WWE TV since she lost to Lyra Valkyria at Saturday Night's Main Event last month. Honestly, this feels like the first report out of all the reports, and there's been so many reporting on Bayley over the last year. This feels like the first report or indication to me that WWE feels Bayley's leaving. Because why would you be upset at her posting that video if she had re-signed, or if you knew she was going to re-sign a new deal? The only reason you would be upset is if you're still in contract negotiations and she's playing to the rumors, she's playing to the reports, she's playing to the teases. Nothing bad on Bayley in my eyes, because I think that's what every wrestler should do. When people are talking about you, you should fan the flames and let that conversation go for as long as possible. But from an WWE perspective, when you have someone that you're trying to negotiate a new deal with and they're teasing that they could go to AEW while still being under contract, to me, WWE is rightfully pissed off when it comes to that. So, John, what do you think about this report? And do you think this improves your percentage in regards to, do you think Bayley is heading to AEW?
Well, I've been on that. I thought Bayley was going to AEW for the last fucking year. Sometimes you could just see the writing on the wall. But this report, the fact that this report even made it to the dirt sheets, you know, like, come on, bro. If I'm Bayley, I'm laughing. If I'm Bayley, this is exactly what I wanted. Thank you, because I was just posting around, but you guys let me know what it is. Like, I didn't know. Maybe I didn't know it was like that. So thank you guys, because I'm on my way out any fucking way. But I even when she posted it and people were like, "Oh, you know, it says All In," or whatever. I honestly didn't think much of it. I don't know if she did either. I think she just was like, "I'm training. This is a song. I'm just gonna post it." And then afterwards, she probably figured, like, seeing the comments and shit, she probably was like, "Oh." Like, I didn't put that together.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Blind blow. I did not expect that to happen.
I do things like that all the time, man. And then I see someone else mention something that I just didn't think of, and I'm not gonna take it down. Like, am I gonna? Like, fuck it. Hell yeah. Like, why not? It's not gonna hurt negotiations. Like, if anything, it's just gonna. She's gonna put a little pressure on the other side, you know. Yeah. I don't know if they can offer her anything to keep her though. I mean, I imagine she's been paid enough. I imagine if she was smart, she's got enough saved up. You know, I think they would have to throw the fucking sink out to really get her to consider to stay. Like, and then it would be like Heartless. She's just gonna be on TV for the sake of it. I just don't see it happening. I just don't. She's out of there. It's gonna be great too. I mean, but they say they're holding her till like 2027, so it'll be a long time, but it's coming.
Yeah, they might. I knowing WWE, they might release her from her contract with a month out, so she has to do a 90-day non-compete to get 2 more months.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Shad, what did you
put that in the air, bro?
What do you think about this?
This shit, damn.
What do you think about this new report? And do you think that this is a more of an indication Bayley's heading to AEW?
I think it is an indication that she's going to AEW. I think Mercedes kind of just poking the bear and making her little, you know, tweets and, you know, subtle remarks online in her stories. I think they're all kind of in the same ballpark. She knows what her friend is going to do at the end of the day. For them to get upset about it, like, I'm in the same park. I didn't notice the song name. I just saw a workout video and that's it. But I guess if you see the word all in any context, she's AEW bound on that standpoint. But I mean, what does she have left to do there at this point, right? Like, they don't see her. They see her as the bridesmaid, not the bride. She's not going to be at the top of the title picture anytime soon. And they look at her more like they see Natalya in a way where maybe you could become a coach. Maybe you're going to be that veteran to kind of put these people over and whatever it may be. But I see it the same way as like with Kofi and Woods. They're not going to offer her some big contract to stay. I mean, she's going to get a set price of what they view her to be. And Tony will probably double that, whatever it may be, and give her a way bigger bag, give her more creative freedom to do what she wants to do, being able to wrestle in independent promotions, whatever she may, you know, choose to do, and then go there and wrestle with more than just her best friend, a whole pool of women that she is a fan of. And obviously, she talks about Statlander and Willow in high regards. Toni Storm, whenever she comes back, like, there's a big, just new journey for her that would be great for her as a competitor. And I don't think it hurts the WWE by any means as well. Like, and that's no shade towards Bayley. That's just how Bayley's been presented the last few years. They got a factory. I mean, they got all these new girls just being, created at the PC, going on to Evolve, NXT, and then they come to the main roster. We saw it last night. They got the toxic girl, not toxic attraction, fatal influence, with all the gold. Soul Ruka, it doesn't change anything for them. So to me, it's just about time. And for anybody to be upset at her, get out of here, bro. If it's the higher ups, it's the higher ups. I understand. But if someone in the locker room is pissed off about that, get a grip, bro. You see how your coworker is being treated all the time. Come on, man.
I agree there. But we will see if Bayley is on her way, and when she will be on her way will let us know when her contract expires, if she is coming to AEW, or if we're going to get news of her re-signing. But the news when it comes to AEW, all eyes are focused on AEW All In London coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow. An update on the ticket sales for All In London. All Elite Wrestling returns to the iconic Wembley Stadium on August 30th. In this week's edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer provided the latest update on the demand for tickets for the Wembley event. According to Meltzer, the Tony Khan-led company has sold 39,000 tickets so far for Wembley Stadium. The report claims that the event is in line to sell 45,000 tickets or so and attract the third largest crowd in AEW's 7-year history. Notably, the previous 2 editions of All In from Wembley Stadium hold the record for the highest attendance for an AEW show, with the 2023 event attracting more than 70,000 fans and 2024 getting over 50,000 fans in the building. The card for All In London 2026 is already taking shape. The several marquee matches have already been announced for the show, which will be headlined by AEW World Championship clash between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. But there are 8 matches on the card already for Wembley Stadium. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné for the Women's World Championship. Kyle Fletcher defending the International Championship against Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage defending the AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Young Bucks. Divine Dominion defending the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships against the Brawling Birds. Kevin Knight defending the TNT Championship against Darby Allin in a Falls Count Anywhere matchup. The Men's Casino Gauntlet with Andrade as number 1 and MJF as number 2. And the Continental Challenge Cup final for the Continental Cup and the Continental Championship. This card is absolutely stacked. Once they announced those new matches on Dynamite this week, I was like, yeah, I think this might be the greatest show in AEW history if it comes through completely. But as of right now, they're at 39,000 tickets. Where do you think they will end off? Will they hit the goal now of 45,000, or do you think they can even push even further with the last week's surge shot?
I mean, if you bring in the New Day, I think you can get close to that. Honestly, I feel like people are going to want to see that moment happen in real time and potentially see that debut. And I feel like they are a big commodity to wrestling fans. People connect to them so much. So I feel like that can give that additional boost. Obviously, with price point, maybe they'll give more sales to it the week of. Gets a little bit cheaper. I think they could get close to it. If it will be 45, I'm not sure. Maybe 43, but I think they'll get close to it though.
What about you, John?
I thought 40 was to be the cap, so they're gonna pass 40. It really looks like with these announcements, all it takes is one good one, and you're gonna move 2,000, 3,000 tickets. So probably hint a little harder at the New Day.
Yeah, I would honestly, I would announce the New Day if that's what they're gonna do, because or just make it so clear that you don't have to announce it.
Just have Swerve doing the fucking Big E announcements before he comes out.
Don't you dare! No, Prince Nana doing it. Don't you dare be sour. Clap it up. for the world's most dangerous man. If you feel the power.
It's gonna be great. I'm excited for it.
I'm here for it. All In season is here and it's got us excited. But we want to say thank you to Shad Tawks Graps for joining us today, good sir. Appreciate you coming in the clutch, and we're definitely going to make sure this is not your last time on the flagship podcast here. But let the people know where you can follow you on social media and when they can see you again on their YouTube screens.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you guys again for having me. Always love the hospitality here. Shad Tawks Graps, SHADTAWKSGRAPS on all socials, Instagram, X, TikTok. Follow me. Follow Wrestling Republic. I'm on there tomorrow, so you'll be able to see me talk tomorrow. And again, man, appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, good sir. Go follow Wrestling Republic. Go follow Shad. And thank you again, good brother. Peace, bro. We got in the chat here, Conrad saying, part of Monet/Slasher's stories have always been about frustration, keeping titles for just a few days or not winning the final match. Think this continues at All In, then she can go for the tag team titles. I've said this after the Willow and Mercedes promo the week after Redemption. I think there is real storyline potential for both Willow and Mercedes if Willow wins at All In.
You know, talking about egos, I think at some point you have to crown Mercedes. I just think it's very similar to the Willow Nightingale situation at Redemption, where it's like, you know, probably time to give Mercedes the title, because if you don't do it now, when you gonna wait, do it at a secondary pay-per-view. I feel like if you want to show Mercedes, especially with a contract year coming up, you want to show Mercedes how much you appreciate her. Just do it. You know, we can get the belt back to Willow at some point. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a Mercedes feud. We can do a lot of things with Willow, actually. But it's probably time. She should probably screw Willow some way, some form, just because Willow's a big baby face, and I don't know, just getting straight up pinned is the best idea. But
no, it definitely can't be like Double or Nothing 2024.
Yeah, like Mercedes should probably, you know, steal some ideas from people she's faced in the past. Take a little bite out of Willow Nightingale somewhere.
There you go.
Yeah.
Andrade El Idolo is someone else that has been in the news this week when it comes to the AEW world. He got people thinking this week that he was injured after a statement on social media, but a new report has an update on his status. As noted, the AEW national champion posted to Twitter on Sunday and said that he hadn't been feeling well after Grand Slam Mexico, and that after doing 2 MLP shows, he went to the doctor and he said that I have to be out of action for a few days or weeks. It's nothing serious. While the comment drew concern that El Idolo might be injured, according to Fightful Select, he is fine. The report goes on to note that this week was already set to be a scheduled week off for him and that he is expected to be back on TV the following week. In addition, this feud with MJF and appearance at All In London are still set to take place. Andrade El Idolo has the #1 entrance spot in the men's Casino Gauntlet at All In London. Of course, the winner of the matchup will earn an AEW World Championship matchup. And All In takes place on August 30th from London and airs live on pay-per-view, HBO Max, and My AEW internationally. Another AEW star that will be missing television, I guess, over the next couple of weeks heading into All In is Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, FTR. They have been announced, though, for an all-in weekend show. They are set to make their return to the ring for the first time since May for Double or Nothing, competing in a undisputed British Tag Team Championship matchup at the Rev Pro 14th anniversary event coming up on the Saturday before All In. Revolution Pro Wrestling announced on Monday that Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler will challenge undisputed British Tag Team Champions Cowboy Way, One Call Manders, and Thomas Shear on the show, their anniversary show coming up on Saturday, August 29th. They wrote, the show takes place on August 29th at the OVO Arena, Wembley, just a day before AEW All In London. FTR last competed at AEW Double or Nothing, where they lost the AEW World Tag Team Championships to Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, and the two are not currently scheduled for a match or appearance at AEW All In, but they will be in London. So do you think we get FTR returning to AEW All In weekend?
Well, they've got to do something, otherwise it starts to get a little suspicious, especially considering that they're on a contract year. So I don't know if they're like negotiating or what the fuck is going on now, but it seems a little late for them to be inserted into the Edge and Christian versus the Young Bucks match.
Yeah,
so
they're not going to do that.
I really do wonder what's the plan here, if there is one.
See, we shall see. And then final news note from AEW, if you're one of the wrestling fans that values wins and losses over all else, Ace Austin's run in All Elite Wrestling hasn't been that impressive. He's had 10 televised singles matches on AEW TV, and he's won 1. He beat Brian Keefe on the October 25th, 2025 edition of AEW Collision. Austin was more known as a tag team wrestler prior to arriving in AEW with his team with Chris Bay and TNA, and New Japan Pro Wrestling was picking up a ton of steam ahead before Bay was forced out of action with a neck injury 2 years ago. As we know, wins and losses only play a part of the story, and Ace has been getting positive reviews about his loss on Collision last Saturday, and Dave Meltzer mentioned this on Wrestling Observer Radio this week, where he said, as far as Ace Austin's standing, I think he did himself a world of favors with this performance because people are talking about him, including in the company, being very impressed by him. I don't know if that it's going to get him a bunch of wins, but I do think it will get him some television time and, being thought of as, hey, we got a TV match for Mike Bailey or whatever, and we need a win. And we know Ace Austin, he can do that job great. Tony Khan's booking often involves wrestlers taking repeated losses against more recognized talent before moving up the cards themselves. Konosuke Takeshita and Kevin Knight come to mind as more recent examples. After Saturday's performance, Austin does seem to be turning some heads in All Elite Wrestling, and Ace calls himself the inevitable. Perhaps his time will come sooner than we think. I've been saying this for months that Ace Austin, I think is becoming one of Tony Khan's favorites. So not surprised that everyone loved his Claudio match. I thought it was a great match. Not as great as Dave Meltzer thought it was, but I thought it was a great match.
I think that's one of the things I really like about AEW is that's a process people go through, and it's proven. Like this is the way they do things. When you come in, you're if you don't already have some significant established momentum, we're gonna make it for you. if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But goddamn it, we're gonna start you down here like everybody else. And a guy like Ace Austin, who in another situation might have just disappeared into the shuffle down there, or maybe just got stuck as part of the Bang Bang Gang, who just doesn't show up on TV as much. But you get these moments, they notice, they take note. It's like, well, when in 6 months, when the spot opens up, we have a guy. I have a guy in mind already. So Josh in the comments called him Ohio Gambit.
That's actually funny. That's actually pretty funny.
I do hope they do more with the cards or whatever, but I like Ace Austin. When he got put with the Bang Bang Gang, I thought that was an interesting choice, and it looks like it's going to work out for him. I did think the Claudio match was fine. I thought it was.
I thought it was great. I thought they worked really well together.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see, like, if you're looking at just like, oh man, Ace Austin looked great here, then great. Then it's probably better than fine. Like, oh man, look how good he looked. This is awesome for him. But I mean, otherwise, it was just pretty pedestrian AEW Collision match. That's the thing about Collision. I
didn't think it was the best match on Collision.
It was just cool.
But I thought it was second best.
Collision has lots of good wrestling. Like, that's the reason why the show exists. Speaking of Collision, I just found out that as of today, it's had more episodes than WCW Thunder.
Yep. Today's episode puts them past it.
Holy shit. Look at it happened so fast. Like I don't know. Sometimes AEW still feels, new. But then I think back to how I felt, like just the thirst for a new promotion that existed in 2019. It's crazy how far we moved from that. That there are people who haven't ever been part of the fandom when there was just one company. Like, that's wild to me. I see some of these YouTubers and they're like, I'm learning about AEW now.
I know exactly who you're talking about too, because that's all the videos that come up on my timeline.
It's wild. I feel like, are we veteran AEW fans? What the fuck?
Apparently, yeah. If you've been shooting in the gym since 2019, you are a vet now, and there's a whole bunch of people that can learn from you shooting in the AEW gym. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I like I said, I thought the Ace Austin match was really, really good. Great match with Claudio. We'll see what he does in the future coming up. As far as I did see Dion asking if there's any updates on Tekla. Nope, she's just off TV. She lost the title. That's what AEW does. We gotta start keeping game. This is what AEW does. Someone loses a major title, they're usually off television afterwards. Is that a good thing with weeks remaining before All In? No, but I don't necessarily think if they are going to put Tekla on the show, they can do it in these last 2 weeks. It's very easy to set her up for the matchup that I think I want her to do.
I get this feeling it's not gonna happen.
I get that feeling too.
They're gonna save her for All Out, which we've been here before. Like All Out is not 2 weeks after All In this time. I feel like we could have done something. Yeah, she didn't have to disappear, but she's gone, man.
Oh, my Tekla back.
Tekla Grand Slam would have been crazy. Like,
that would have been amazing, man. Just come on, man. Ride the hot hand. That's all I ask. That's all I ask from all these companies. Ride the hot hand. If you got a star that is hot, ride that shit out until they're no longer hot. That's how it should always work. But not everybody's like that. We got to move on from AEW. And we're going to step into the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling because we are down the home stretch. It is the final week of the G1 Climax tournament. We'll talk about what's gone down since last Sunday. Sunday was day 14, which featured A block action as Yuto Ice picked up a win over Shingo Takagi in a great main event to the show. These two guys beating the hell out of each other. Sign me up every single time. Ryohei Oiwa overcame Jake Lee with a very unique submission. You had Konosuke Takeshita beat Sanada yet again after their matchup at Dominion. Yota Tsuji scored a victory over Great Okan, while Hiroki Goto toppled Bolton Oleg in a somewhat of an upset based on what the G1 has been going on so far. Then day 15 featured B block action. You had Zack Sabre Jr. overcoming Hanare in a good bout. Drilla Maloney, he scored a victory over Ren Narita to improve in the block. You had Aaron Wolf, who probably scored one of the bigger upsets of the tournament as he defeated former IWGP heavyweight champion Callum Newman, tapping him out with a submission. And Yuya Uemura beat Gabe Kidd in a splendid main event as he became the first Japanese-born star to beat Gabe Kidd in this year's G1 Climax tournament. A block final night was on Wednesday this week, day 16, which featured one of my favorite matches of the entire tournament. Ryohei Oiwa defeating Konosuke Takeshita in what was a tremendous main event that, in my opinion, is a match of the tournament contender. Ryohei Oiwa knowing all of Takeshita's offense and having a headlock for every single move is my type of matchup. Oiwa moves on to the G1 Climax semifinals with the victory here. Shingo Takagi was denied a chance at the semifinals because he lost to Sanada early on in the show. You also had Hiroki Goto, who scored a victory over Yuto Ice in a very good bout in a battle of already eliminated stars in the block. Great Okan caused Boltin Oleg to miss out on his first semifinals of the G1 as he pulled off a victory and took the W via countout over Boltin Oleg after the eliminator threw a table at ringside. And finally, Yota Tsuji pulled off a victory over Jake Lee to advance to the G1 Climax semifinals earlier today. Yota Tsuji picking up the win over Jake Lee with a goddamn fire blaster in the corner, which looked brutal. But it pans out. This is how the A block shaped out for this year. Yota Tsuji finishes off the block at number 1 with 12 points, 6-3 record. Roye Oiwa also at 6-3 with 12 points. He is number 2. Konosuke Takeshita just misses out with the 6-3 record, 12 points overall, due to two of his 3 losses coming to numbers 1 and 2, Yota Tsuji and Roye Oiwa. Then you had day 17 on Thursday, the final B block night. You had Callum Newman picking up a win over Hanare in an absolutely fantastic matchup. These two guys nearly tore down the house in a battle of United Empire members. One of the best matches of the tournament. Callum Newman kicking up the win to not only prove himself as the leader of United Empire, but also punch his ticket for the semifinals this morning. So Callum Newman, he won the New Japan Cup this year, and then he goes to the semifinals of the G1 Climax tournament, where he would be joined by Yuya Uemura, who beat Oscar in a stellar David versus Goliath matchup. Yuya Uemura tapping out the big man to punch his ticket for the semifinals. His also first semifinals of the G1 Climax of his career. Elsewhere in the B block, you had Zack Sabre Jr. He picked up a win over Aaron Wolf in a very good matchup. You also had Ren Narita lost to Gabe Kidd in a quick brawl, a brawl that went all over Kurgan Hall and then eventually ended in about 2 minutes in the ring. So that was fun. But how it pans out, it led into Yota Tsuji, A block number 1, going against Yuya Uemura, the B block number 2, and Callum Newman, B block number 1, going against Roye Oiwa, A block number 2. This is how the blocks panned out in the B block. Yuya Uemura and Callum Newman finishing off with 12 points. They are 1 and 2. Gabe Kidd also had 12 points, but he lost to both Callum and Uemura. Thus, he did not make it to the final. Then we had the semifinals this morning, day 18, which featured Hiroshi Tenzan's retirement matchup with Satoshi Kojima beating his career rival and tag team partner. Post-match, whole bunch of shenanigans happened. You had Iizuka coming out, attacking Tenzan, and Tenzan having a coming to Jesus moment, and Iizuka, them basically putting their rivalry to bed and hugging. Then they held the formal retirement ceremony, which had special guests like Chono, Muta, Hase, Kojima. You had Fujinami, Nagata was all there. Chono was there. So great stuff. Great celebration of one of the great careers of a former IWGP heavyweight champion. Elsewhere on the card, House of Torture got stronger. They picked up a win over Hontai in 8-man tag team action. Post-match, House of Torture jumped Konosuke Takeshita until the debuting Shun Skywalker, formerly of Dragon Gate, made his official New Japan debut as the newest member of House of Torture. He called out Takeshita, so he looks like he's going to be the next challenger for the NJPW World Television Championship. But it was all about the semifinal matches. You had Roye Oiwa beat Callum Newman in an excellent bout. This was all about the injured shoulder of Callum Newman versus the headlock-based offense of Oiwa. Oiwa at one point did a fucking headlock with an armbar at the same time. That looked amazing. But in the end, it was the grip that pulled out the win, and he moves on to his first ever G1 Climax final, where he would face another rival, Yuya Uemura, as Yuya defeated the IWGP Heavyweight Champion Yota Tsuji in an absolutely superb encounter for both Oiwa and Uemura to advance to the G1 Climax 36 finals tomorrow. It goes down in Ryogoku. I know you were following it. You've been covering the G1 all month long, John. So what was your thoughts on this week, and in particular, this morning's semifinals as Yuya Uemura beats Yota Tsuji, Roye Oiwa beats Callum Newman, Tenzan's retirement, and the debut of Shun Skywalker?
The Shun Skywalker debut was funny. I've not seen his work as much as I should have before now. I haven't watched Dragon Gate regularly in like fucking 10, 20 years. But as soon as I saw him, I was like, yeah, House of Torture makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, I said that too. I was like, well, this makes sense. This does make sense.
And like, like we mentioned before, House of Torture is really popular in Japan as far as like selling t-shirts, and people like to see them. So it's a good spot for him. You should probably take that belt from Takeshita. We're being honest. Takeshi's had it for a while, and then for me, that's a weight on Takeshita, keeping him in these 15-minute matches. Yeah. So he could get that belt off him ASAP. The Hiroshi Tenzan retirement was awesome. The match itself, it's there's something about seeing someone push themselves to that limit. Like, he is obviously in pain. He's obviously battered, and then from the career that he's had, for this moment in his final match that's supposed to be 5 minutes, and he decides, no, it's not gonna be 5 minutes, it's gonna be until we fucking have a winner, and then he almost goes 10. They like fucking 9.5 minutes. At some points he could barely stand. Like, legit could not stand up. His legs were locking up.
I felt so bad for him. I was like, let this man sit down and sleep, please.
There was a young lion who essentially acted like his cane for the whole hour after the match. He was just holding him up. But yeah, something about that inspires me, man. He was still going. Like, he still had that match. He still went out there. He went 9 minutes, kicked out at 1 after one of those lariats. It was the best possible performance he could have given. And yeah, man, obviously nothing is going to touch the Tanahashi retirement, but fuck, this was about as good as it gets as far when it comes to paying homage to someone who put their body on the line for so long. Good stuff. I enjoyed it. It was long as fuck, and it cost me an hour of the show, but good stuff. As far as the actual G1, man, the 2026 G1 Climax is for me, like, New Japan had been getting flashes of itself. At that, they went through a real tough time for a little while after COVID, and then slowly you would see flashes of greatness from New Japan. Yeah. And I feel like this year, this G1, it really made me feel like, not just like, oh, New Japan's back, but like, New Japan's gonna be okay. Like
this New feels Japan, like the most sustainable stretch of good New Japan that we've had in like 4 or 5 years.
But not even just that. It definitely does, especially just because it's been like one straight month of all of this is working. Like 18 straight shows of, damn, this is fine. But watching these 18 shows in a row has really allowed me to see how solid the foundation has become. I'm talking Oiwa, fucking Yuya, Ice, Oscar, Daiki Nagai in these preview matches. Fucking, I mean, Bolton Oleg. Fucking, I mean, poor Shooter who went out early. I really wish he could have had the opportunity to be in this fucking tournament.
Dude, this is like the worst possible timing for Shooter, but that's just the story of his New Japan career. It seems like.
But it just
even
really
Ren Narita. I literally got asked yesterday when we did our finals and semifinals preview. Jay News hadn't watched the tournament, so he was like, "How would you say Ren Narita's tournament's gonna be?" I was like, "I can't believe I'm saying this, but good." I was like, anyone who tells you a word that's bigger than good, they're lying to you. But anyone who tells you a word worse than good, if it's worse than solid, then they're lying to you, because Red Narita was not as bad as like Great O'Khan on this tournament.
Or fucking Jake Lee. It was like having two Torianos in the tournament. But when they faced off, it was actually funny. Like when they had their match,
it was funny.
This is fucking hilarious. So like even them, like they were obviously the jesters. Like they were obviously we're gonna have a break today because we beat the shit out of each other yesterday match. But even when they got together, it was like, man, this is funny as hell. Like you got everyone was great. Honestly, everyone had a moment.
Had a very good tournament.
Sonata versus Suji, bro. I was like, what the fuck?
His best match in years.
Everyone in the tournament had a moment that was great for them. And what else can you ask for out of something like this? That's what else can you ask for? Is actually a perfect finals, and Gedo was like, let me reach into my bag real fast.
This was the matchup that I wanted. Like, this was the matchup where I was like, when I saw the blocks, I was like disappointed, because I was like, oh man, Oiwa and Uemura ain't in the same block. I was like, we either got to get this in the finals or we got to get it in the semifinals, and we're getting it in the final. This is the perfect final for this year.
It is. I had actually predicted this would happen in the semifinals, but I just knew it needed to happen. Like it is the battle for the future. Like this Oiwa is a shining sun, and
dude, it really feels like it's the guy that got pegged at the beginning of the year in Uemura versus the new hot hand in Oiwa. So this is like the perfect scenario for New Japan. They can't go wrong. Either they go with their plan originally of Uemura, and we do Uemura and Tsuji in the Tokyo Dome, or they go with the hot hand and they go with Oiwa. So it's a win-win for New Japan.
And I think ultimately it does have to be Yuya Uemura at this point.
It does. He needs it. He needs it at this point, because you're risking him becoming the next shooter if he loses here.
Yeah. And Oiwa's gonna be fine. Like Oiwa hasn't been there so long that he's gonna rot if he doesn't win this tournament. Was it us that we were looking at this picture of him as a young lion from like 6 years ago? Where I couldn't believe how far he's come already. And it's like, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of his career. I'm so excited. I'm so fucking happy for New Japan right now. This finals is the perfect representation of what the whole tournament felt like. Here's our best foot. This is what we have moving forward. Do you like it? Yes, Gedo. Yes. Yes, I like it very much. Oiwa versus Uemura is going to position Oiwa as one of those people who will break out. And then Uemura is going to be the guy who will lead New Japan. In a
perfect world, you have Uemura beat Tsuji at Tokyo Dome, and then by like Dominion next year, Oiwa beats Uemura for the title.
New Japan Cup, like Oiwa winning the New Japan Cup and challenging after that, and actually taking the title would be that'd be great. That'd be perfect.
Honestly, though, I will say, I think Oiwa is good enough where I would have him win next year's G1, and I would have Boltin Oleg win the New Japan Cup next year.
Boltin Oleg is another one.
He's the one that him and Oiwa are the two that improve their stock the most.
Yeah, 100%. Like some of the guys who had like Ice, we kind of expected. Like, okay, we're looking for you to have this moment. Like Oscar
was a big surprise too. Oscar and Hanare. Hanare is one that hasn't been talked about enough. But he's like he's not the young generation, but he's definitely not the old generation. He's one of those middle guys, and you need those middle guys to kind of step up, and maybe they can like go into the upper mid card main event scene. And Henare, after this tournament, he feels like my pick from the middle guy section of a guy. Like the middle guy section has like the Hiroki Gotos and the Zack Sabre Jr.
The never title.
Yeah. Like, but he feels like the guy that you do need to elevate because you could do something with him.
Ever since the what was it? The fucking war between United Empire.
And
I muted myself.
Dogs. Yeah.
The War Dogs and United Empire, and Henare fucking he took, I don't know, it was like a chair or something. And he really hurt himself real bad when he came back out with
his whole skull open.
Wrapped his fucking head and just came back out there. Ever since that moment, I knew, I was like, all right, I like this fucking guy. And he's had that kind of energy like this whole time. So like seeing him in this G1 was, you know, this is awesome. Like he should be in the never open weight title scene, like having bangers, you know, busting people's heads open.
He's already done that. I feel like he earned his opportunity at the global title now.
Oh yeah, there is that. Yeah, I kind of forget that thing exists sometimes with the way Gabe Kidd just kind of throws that shit around. Gabe Kidd's another one who could have had a really bad year, especially considering the visa situation and everything like that. But
I thought he had a very solid tournament, and it's that kind of cemented or established his new storyline of being anti New Japan and not losing to beating all the Japanese talent except for one is hilarious. Hilarious bit. Hilarious.
It's crazy. It's crazy the way he's been like, because the character like him, he usually would get his ass beaten, pinned. You know, like we're gonna use him as the example. New Japan is the best, but he's just ran roughshod through the fucking tournament like a maniac.
It was great. But yeah, I'm very excited for the final tomorrow. We will save our prediction for our final segment of the show, but we got to finish up with the partner promotions of AEW. ROH Global Wars Mexico was this week, which was basically like matches from the CMLL AEW show, because they had Kevin Knight scoring a victory over Teton in a great match to retain the TNT championship from the CMLL versus AEW International Week show. You also, from that event, they also showed Kyle Fletcher defeated Mascara Dorada in an excellent main event. Sabarano Jr. picked up a win over Commander in a super fun lightning matchup. And then the two matches that were for Ring of Honor, tape before Grand Slam Mexico, you had Hayan, Maya World, and Thunder Rosa picked up a win over Hikaru Shida, Marina Shafir, and Sky Blue in trios action, while Blackheart Leo Rush beat El Clone in surprisingly a very good matchup to retain the ROH World Television Championship. Later on in the show, they announced that Leo will defend the television title against his former tag team partner, Action Andretti, next Friday at Death Before Dishonor in a fight without honor. And then we also announced Dalton Castle and the Outrunners versus the aforementioned Lethal Twist for the ROH World Six-Man Tag Team Championships. Finishing up with that, we're going to finish off what we missed for the AEW section with CMLL. You had Martes Popularis on Tuesday. The show featured the Martes Popularis show had the Don Callis families, Hechicero and Volador Jr. defeating El Sky Team's Masquerade Dorada and Neon in the main event.
Surprising. That threw me off, but it was a great match.
It was a great match. You had Esvene and Shalwa toppled Ruglo and Black Tiger, and Atlantis and Blue Panther picked up a win over CMLL World Tag Team Champions Los Hermanos Chavez. So seems to be setting up a tag team title match there. And then Friday night was the Super Viernes show. So after the announcements for the 93rd anniversary show, we had basically the preview match for the main event. Preview matches for the main event. You had Mystico scoring a DQ victory over Inverno in the main event after a low blow and unmasking. You had Zandagon Jr. picked up a win over his rival Star Jr. And Dragon Roja beat Barbaro Cavanario due to cheating. I don't like that. Cavanario, my favorite babyface. And then you had Johnny Robbie and Tessa Blanchard
Hell yeah.
overcame Persephone and Reina Isis. So the previews were for this. You're gonna get a triple threat matchup at the anniversary show in September. Oh, it's a 4-way?
Yeah, they added. They added
somebody.
Yeah, I think Zandokan Jr. was getting chased down by Star Jr. and he kept denying it, but eventually he did agree. And
but who's the fourth team? Because I know those three matches are the three teams.
Yeah, it's Dragon Rojo and Gavinario, Mystico Averno, Ultimo Dragon Templario, and then Star Jr. and Zandokan. And so that and for the record, not a lot of people are happy with that.
No, I saw that. People seem to be like very upset about it.
There's the element to like you build all these feuds and like we really want to see them, and it's like it feels like the foregone conclusion is Mystico versus Averno in the main event, and
that's what I figured.
There's been times in the past where it seemed like there was an obvious match coming out of one of these, and it just completely went in another direction.
Yeah.
I think of like Ultimo Guerrero and what is it? Not Atlantis. Who the fuck did he face to lose his mask? But it was that year where people didn't expect that to be the final, but it was. And but for what it's worth, I'm pretty sure Mystico versus Averno be the main event.
Mystico, literally, when I interviewed him earlier this year, I asked him about the anniversary show, and that was the match that he said he wanted to do. He wanted to do Mask versus Hair against Averno.
They had a hot match yesterday. It was really good. Now that undercard is kind of hard. It's gonna be kind of harsh on them, man. They're building a bit. They gotta have to follow some shit. And you're talking about some of the hottest, youngest guys in the promotion right now who are gonna be able to showcase their shit before Mystico and Averno get out there. So by the time they get out there, they're gonna have to like this match tonight was heated. They're gonna have to heat that up like times 2. This times 5 if you can. So there's that, but people also just like we wanted to see those other matches. You know, like I wanted to see Templario versus Ultimo Guerrero. You know, like wanted to see Barbaro Gavinario versus fucking Dragon Rojo Jr. or whatever. So yeah, people are kind of like, damn, you should have just done a straight up Apuestas. But you know, I get it. They had a. You don't want to do like direct comparisons to the one that happened earlier this year in AAA, so they had to do something a little different. That's fine. I don't mind it as much as other people seem to mind it. What was I gonna say? Jesus, it was about the 93rd anniversary card, but it's gone.
I know. It's Andrade and Volador Jr. is on that card. What else is on the card?
Soberano Jr. versus Bandito. Which is
that angle was I finally got to watch the Grand Prix, so you'll definitely be hearing that on my matches of the week. Man, that angle they did with Bandito and Soberano Jr. I literally, my roommate was like walking through the living room and he literally sat down to watch the rest of the matchup, seeing that angle.
They wanted each other dead. It was awesome. And I was like, you gotta book that right now. And they did. And so you bring that fucking energy to Arena Mexico. I was like, that's gonna be crazy.
Should be good.
So I know it was those two, and the other one was Teton versus Commander for the middleweight championship. So that's gonna be another great match. Like these are all like straight up ones, young guys. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna put it all on the line. And then Mystico and Averno are gonna have to go out there after that, and they're gonna have to try to kill each other. Because like, how else do you follow that shit up? It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be a wild 93rd anniversary show. Like this is gonna be awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope all of you are as well. But that is the end of what we missed on the AEW section. So how about we play a little TikTok time? It is time for TikTok time, and I'm going to try a new game with you, sir. I'm going to try a new game with you, but it's an interesting one. You gotta stay with me, all right? So, it is a game that probably 9 times out of 10 that you guys watching have seen before on another channel, whether it's wrestling channel. I've seen wrestling channels do this. I've seen basketball channels do this, TV, movie channels. It's basically guess the category. That's what the game is basically, where me and John are going to have a category that basically John's going to come out with a category that I have to figure out by the wrestlers that I name under that category. So say the category is wrestlers who currently work for WWE. So I would say Seth Rollins. John would say, yes, you can have Seth Rollins. I will say Roman Reigns. He will say, yes, you can have Roman Reigns. I'll say Javon Evans. He said, yes, you can have Javon Evans. And then after he says yes to 3 names, I have permission to figure out what the category is that he picked.
Okay,
right?
I think I get it. Seems
you
easy
get it?
enough.
All right, so you want to figure out, we're both going to come up with the categories. We're both going to come up with 3 categories each. So we'll guess back and forth. We'll try to figure out what's the category that we got. Do you have a category for the first
one? I think I do.
Okay. I have mine as well. You guys can play along in the chat because it's not like most of the channels will have it on the screen for you as the viewer to see, but this is live. So you're not going to have the category on the screen, but you guys can figure it out. But we'll keep confirming what names we have as far as yes to. All right. So I'll let you go first. Give me your first name.
The Rock.
No, you cannot have The Rock. John Cena.
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Bryan Danielson.
Technically speaking, no.
Okay.
No. I gave you a hint there. I gave you a hint there. Will Ospreay.
Yes.
All right. Let me write that down. Will Ospreay. All right. Interesting. Okay. Your turn.
Daniel Bryan.
No.
Okay.
No. No Bryan Danielson, no Daniel Bryan. I love that he thought that was what I was giving you. No. I wouldn't do that to you. That's actually funny. That actually popped me. All right. So Will Ospreay, MJF.
No.
Okay. Your turn.
Tony Storm.
No. Mercedes Moné.
No.
Okay.
Mercedes Moné.
No. Zack Sabre Jr.
I want to say yes, but I have to really double. Yeah.
Okay. Zack Sabre Jr. All right. I got 2 Brits so far. Go ahead.
Roman Reigns. Did I say Roman Reigns?
No.
I thought about it earlier,
and no. So since you've gotten so many no's, I will give you a hint now. It's AEW.
Okay.
It's an AEW category. All right. Which way should I go with this? Let's go Hangman Adam Page.
I'll say yes. Hell yeah, actually.
All right. Hangman Adam Page. Okay, so I'll let you get a guess, and then I can start trying to guess the category.
Jon Moxley.
Yes. You finally got your first yes.
I got one.
Yes. That is a yes. All right, so Hangman, Ospreay, Sabre Jr. Wrestlers who have competed in the G1.
No.
Go ahead.
I guess I picked Jon Moxley. Let's see. There's two directions I want to go here, but I have to make an elimination first. Sky Blue.
No.
Okay. Now I know where I want to go next.
So Ospreay, ZSJ, Hangman. Best wrestlers in the world?
No.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Claudio
Castagnoli? No. Ospreay, CSJ, Hangman. Like, I'm trying to figure out.
Well, it's hard because they have a lot of things in common, I think.
Yes, they have a ton in common. So
There's one. There's one.
They've all lost to Kenny Omega.
That's true. I didn't think of that though. No.
No, it's not that. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna steal an answer from the comments, or try anyway. Eddie Kingston.
No. I will give you another hint, and I will say it has to do with a current world champion.
A current world champion, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Will Ospreay, Zack Sabre Jr., Hangman Adam Page. Wrestlers who have wrestled in AEW and New Japan.
No. We're getting there.
Can you give me a hint?
We're getting close. We're getting very close. I'll say that.
Okay.
You're warm.
All right. I'm warm. All right. Go ahead. Your turn.
Man, I'm so fucking cooked. Someone said Marty's girl's friends. Oh no.
That would be mine.
Oh no. It's got to do with the current world champion. Jon Moxley's one of them. So shit. Is who else? Is Hangman? Is Hangman on there?
You know what? I'll give you Hangman, but it's like it's not in the same way of anyone else on this list.
Oh fuck. It doesn't help me at all.
But I will give you that. And I'll give you another clue. It has to do with a current world champion, but not specifically this year.
Is it a world champion in America?
Yeah, I literally gave you all the clues that you need. It's AEW. It's a current world champion. It's not this year.
Okay, so well, it's your turn now. But
I might have to guess another name at this point because like I've exhausted everything. Wrestlers who have won at Forbidden Door.
No, but we're getting colder now.
I'm getting colder. Damn.
Yeah.
God. Damn it. All right,
you're getting close before. So I am going to go Chris Jericho.
No.
Okay.
Those who have won a world championship in either AEW or New Japan.
No, but the hint I will give you is that the answer is actually somewhere on my screen. This is like the biggest hint I could give you too.
I'm looking. I'm like, okay, go ahead.
Kenny Omega.
No, no, definitely no. 100% no. That's another clue.
I think I know.
They have wrestlers who have challenged for the ROH World Championship.
You are on fire. But it's
But
not exactly that.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to guess shit. Because I think I want to go in a particular direction, but I don't know how to get there. So fucking man.
You can make one more guess too.
Is it? I mean, I'm looking at the chat for answers too.
Help!
CM Punk.
CM Punk? No.
CM Punk. Okay.
No. Those who former world champions who have never won the Ring of Honor world title.
Yeah, you got it.
Ooh, oh god.
I was gonna be a dick and say no, because technically it was just guys who have wrestled the Ring of Honor but didn't win the title. But I was like, that's close enough.
Yeah. All right, and yours was you could have. I'll name some of the people that you could have mentioned: Christian Cage, Orange Cassidy, Pac, Jungle Boy, Ray Phoenix.
Oh,
it's wrestlers who lost to Kenny Omega in his first world title run.
Oh shit! I wouldn't have got that. I was thinking in a whole other direction. Even now, when you were mentioning the names, I was like, international champions.
And you gotta come up with something hard. That was hard, and mine was hard. So we'll do one more. We'll do one more. I made my second one a little easier.
Yeah,
heads up.
I think I can do the same thing.
Do you have a category?
Yes.
You guys were doing well in the chat. You guys were very helpful to the both of us. I appreciate y'all. All right, so I'll let you go first again. Go ahead.
Just yank something out the sky. I don't know. John Cena.
No. Roman Reigns.
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Adam Page.
Yes. MJF.
Yes.
Okay. Your turn.
Jon Moxley.
I'd have to think. No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I had to double check. Remember, and like, no. All right. Darby Allin.
Yes.
All right, you're up.
Kenny Omega.
Yes. Swerve Strickland.
Yes.
You're up.
All right, so you got Adam Page, you got Kenny Omega.
You can also make the guess early if you want to beat me. If you want to beat me, you can make a guess now.
I don't know. There's so many connections between Adam Page and Kenny Omega. People, blonde people who are friends, the AEW World Champions, people who are friends with the Young Bucks.
Could be any of those things.
I think I need one more guess. But because I'm already in the elite, Brandon Cutler.
No.
Okay.
No. So I'm gonna guess mine. MJF, Darby, Swerve, AEW World Champions.
Yeah, that was the easier one.
All right. Mine was. I really at one point I thought we picked the same thing. because you could have said all those names and I would have said yes.
Fuck.
Because mine has main event in an AEW pay-per-view in 2026.
I would have headed in that direction next.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
if
crazy,
you would have
guy.
said, if your next one would have been MJF, we would have been neck and neck because I think that you would have got it by then.
MJF, John Moxley not main eventing this year is actually pretty wild.
Yeah, that's was the you just saw me like I was like, wait, let me make sure because it's quite surprising that he has it.
Yeah,
yeah, he has it. Okay, cool. All right, that was fun. So that's a new game that we'll be playing here on the flagship for TikTok time. We'll see how Josh and Chrissy adapt to that one as well. But we got to move on over to WWE. Yes, I'm sorry, guys. I tried my best to avoid it as much as possible. But we have to talk about WWE eventually. Yeah, I know. It's kind of sometimes I think there's a large portion of fans that just watch us to talk about WWE and then get mad at us because we don't like it. But anyway, WWE SmackDown was last night. WWE SmackDown taking place from Boston, Massachusetts. The show featured SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis addressing the orbital bone injury to interim WWE Women's Champion Chelsea Green. This led to Green cutting an impassioned promo about fighting hard her entire career, always having the rug pulled from under her and wanting to keep the title until someone beat her for it. Aldis made the decision to let Chelsea keep the title, but she has 30 days to get cleared. This led into Gunther actually coming out to interrupt Chelsea and get in Aldis's face, calling him out for his booking of the number one contenders match at SummerSlam. He chastised Chelsea for being injured, and after getting in Green's face, her husband, Matt Cardona, came out to make the save. After Gunther disrespected Cardona, saying that he came all the way from the catering to make the save, Cardona fought back, leading into an impromptu matchup between the two men. After the whole confrontation with Chelsea, you had Gunther, who actually picked up the victory here. He went on to beat Cardona in singles action. Even though Cardona got a low blow, had some help from Chelsea, it was Gunther who made him tap out with the Boston Crab. Post-match, you had the Irresistible Forces who confronted Chelsea until Tiffany Stratton made the save. However, Nia Jax and Lash Legend laid out Stratton, which led into later in the night where JC Jane defeated Stratton to win the WWE Women's United States Championship. Fatal Influence is now draped in all the gold. One of the more notable segments on the show for sure was CM Punk and Kevin Owens having another face-to-face confrontation. But I felt like this one was even more intense and uncomfortable as the last one, where KO addressed their past and why he hates Punk. He talked about Punk tearing into him in ROH, calling him a fat indie slob, hurting his friends. Punk dared him to mention who those friends were, and Kevin Owens even said, I'm not talking about just those three. I'm talking about all my friends in the industry and everything between them, while Punk tried to throw everything back at Owens, basically gaslighting him like his name was Roman Reigns. KO is determined to finally prove Punk wrong about him being an indie slob, while Punk wants to shut KO up after years of disrespect due to their past. You had Baron Corbin, who picked up a win over Carmelo Hayes in a fine matchup to retain the United States Championship. Post-match, you had Little Yachty, who returned with a kendo stick for Trick Williams to hit the trick shot knee on the champion. The MFTs were new champions on the show as well, as they scored a victory over R-Truth and Damian Priest and the War Raiders to win the WWE Tag Team Championships. Cody Rhodes talked to Nick Aldis about a match with Randy Orton, which was made official for Sunday night's main event on September 6th in Cody's hometown of Atlanta. This led to a confrontation with Sami Zayn, who called out Cody for always getting what he wants, including CM Punk telling him just say when for a title shot that Sami wants for himself. after Cody challenged Sammy. Aldis sweetened the pot for Zayn, who was claiming he was injured, by saying that if he wins, he will get a shot at the undisputed WWE Championship. However, this match never happened because Randy Orton attacked Rhodes before it could start. This led to an arena-wide brawl between the two rivals that ended with Cody almost delivering the same steel chair shot to Randy's head that he did to him earlier this year on the road to WrestleMania. What did you think about last night's SmackDown? I said earlier in the show, it was by far the best WWE TV show of the week. And I feel like SmackDown since SummerSlam, it's at least somewhat entertaining. There's some stuff to sink your teeth into that wasn't there pre-SummerSlam.
Well, it has a top guy who shows up. I mean, that helps. That kind of helps. You watch Raw and usually you're like, oh man, at least the Roman segment will have some plot development. And Raw has no Roman. Their champion is just gone. So they're just kind of, a family with no dad at home. It's a shame, but it happens. SmackDown's the A show right now. Shinsuke and Hiromu getting a video package cut from TV is fucking crazy.
It wasn't the only one. Paige got cut from the show as well. The Owens and Punk segment went way longer than it needed because those guys don't like each other legit, and it was quite obvious from that segment. Them talking over each other, them smacking things out of each other's hands. Like, yeah, they went out there with the intent to make you believe they don't like each other, but there is only so much acting these two can do.
Yeah, it's not like they had like a line for line script, They go out there and they kind of hit their bullet points or whatever. I think CM Punk did his little bullshit that he does, where, like you mentioned, he kind of tries to trip you up in your promo, fuck up the potential clip for social media, fuck it up so it doesn't show up in the promo packages. It's a little political thing. It's a little sneaky and funny considering he's the guy who has such a big issue with someone talking about something else in a promo, but fine. At least Kevin Owens wasn't a little bitch about it. He's like, yeah, I'm not even just talking about those three, bro. I'm talking about everyone. Nobody likes you. There is something to the idea, though, that we're running over the same plot points with CM Punk over and over and over again, because in a way, this Punk Owens promo yesterday was like a PG version of the Eddie Kingston CM Punk promo, and this
was laid out like a CM Punk AEW promo. The layout and everything, from them starting on opposite corners. When does the WWE promo start with the two guys not in the center of the ring?
Yeah,
like that was very much Punk probably made that suggestion that they start off the promo in opposite corners. They cut their two promos. They get closer. That was what he did with MJF in AEW. That's what he did with Eddie Kingston in AEW. That's what he did with Jon Moxley in AEW. That's what he did with Hangman Adam Page. Like, he did it with everybody in AEW. He has not done it in WWE. He brought it back for this one here.
Yeah, it was that, but it was also the subject matter. Like, that's why I particularly brought up the Eddie Kingston one, because Eddie Kingston's thing was like, I never liked you. Nobody likes you. You're a piece of shit. We want you out of here. And Kevin Owens, essentially the same. Like, I never liked you. We've got previous beef. Nobody likes you. And Punk, fired back with almost the same insult. You're a fat bum now. You were a fat bum then. But that's just kind of surface level similarities. I just think that's the issue that we come across when we continue to hit this well with CM Punk, where it's like, I don't think they meant to rehash that. It's just that we did, because this happened already. Yeah. And maybe that's a result of CM Punk being such a dick his whole career. Everybody's got the same issues with him.
Yeah, like I said this earlier when Shad was on. I was like, for Punk to be presented as the babyface, he has to have an explanation of why he is different from that person that fat shamed Kevin Owens. Like, the one thing that stopped Roman and Punk from being like a feud of the year candidate for me is the fact that it were two baby faces where neither one of them were acting like baby faces. And it was Roman being his regular manipulative but gaslighting stuff that gets cheered now. And then it was Punk, who literally spit on somebody's grave, made a reference to a dead father, a dead WWE legend, and then for weeks was just like, well, I'm not apologizing because he hasn't apologized. I'm not apologizing because he hasn't apologized. And then finally, the week before the show, he's like, you know what? I was wrong for that. Nigga, you could have done this 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. So I feel like we're going to go another month of a Kevin Owens rivalry before Punk finally says, you know what? I was different. It was different then. I was a different person then. I'm different now. Then I would have been okay with it if he said it in this promo here. I just fear he's not going to say it until way down past its point of expiration.
Yeah, that was one thing too I was going to bring up. Punk came across like an asshole, and it's not just because I think he's an asshole. He came across like a
an
dick.
asshole.
I mean,
Yeah.
Kevin Owens seemed justified. Everything he was saying, like, man, you were a dick to me back then. And CM Punk is like, yeah, and I'm still an asshole now. He called Kevin Owens fat again, and I was like, you know what? As long as I've been watching wrestling, I think calling someone fat is usually one of those things you just don't do because it doesn't have no effect these days. But also, it's you don't usually talk. I don't know if you notice, you don't usually talk about cosmetic things. Like nobody usually goes, "Oh, you're ugly," unless it's like Vince McMahon era, Piggy James stuff. That's why the Piggy James stuff stuck out because you don't do things like that.
But
So-
it's kind of showing the WWE's like lack of creativity because they lean towards these like reality based insults or like meta commentary way too much. We'll talk about Raw with Becky Lynch telling Stephanie Vaquer she's injury prone and she did nothing with the WWE Women's World Championship. I was like, all of that is true. You shouldn't say it.
Yeah. Why would you say that? You're hurting the character. What are you doing? And she's got no comeback. What is she gonna say? Like, what is Stephanie gonna say? If that stuff isn't approved, that sucks even more. But I don't know. I don't think that's the case. I think these are things that get brought up in Triple H's creative room. It's like, what if she brings up the fact that she's injury prone? Like, are you fucking expressing yourself through the writing right now? Like, what are you fucking doing? Like,
Honestly, when Becky cut that promo on Monday, I was like, I felt like that's the comment. That's the creative team talking to Stephanie and not Becky.
yeah, like what the
Like
fuck? And Becky, I don't know. Becky seemed like someone who would kind of skim over her line like that, but I don't know. All right.
We got a super chat donation here. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says, I figured that Meltzer had his favorites, but did not know that Jericho was one of them until I heard the Wrestling Observer radio interview on Friday. A bit of a glaze fest, in my opinion. I still haven't listened to the opinion, but my God, I think we found the topper for the most overrated Dave Meltzer star rating of the year. Was that Jericho and Kevin Knight getting 4.25 is like, what the fuck did you just stop watching the matchup during the finish?
Well, I think a lot of times he does. I think a lot of times he's doing something else and he just rates a match based on what he think it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because there's a couple times where I'm like, what? And what, like, that should have been, 4.5 or whatever, but it wasn't, not this time. And so, yeah, I think he's working on autopilot, with some of this
like
stuff.
the fact that he gave Oiwa and Takeshita the same rating as Jericho and Kevin Knight, he got to stop.
Yeah.
He gotta stop this. He gotta stop this. Like that's where I'm like, all right, chill, bro.
It's as far as the Jericho being one of Meltzer's favorites, that's not new. I'm surprised that people
it's been for years. It's been like that for years.
I'm surprised they're catching on now. Jericho is one of the people that talks to Dave Meltzer. Like this is something everybody knows. Jericho made reference to it in an interview.
Why do you think it was Meltzer was the first one who made that whole when Jericho was the hot topic in wrestling? Who was the first person who came out with a report? It was fucking Dave Meltzer because he heard from Jericho and Jericho's like, I need you to report this because we need to put my name out there so I can get more money from either Tony or Paul.
Yeah, him and Meltzer have been friends for a long time. I think he just did an interview the other day where he talked about how he was playing TNA to get a bigger paycheck from WWE. And I had my cousin in the diner send an email to the sheet. I was like, yeah. Okay. See, Oiwa versus Takeshita 4.25. First of all, that's not even high enough. Like,
no, I gave it. A spoiler alert for my matches of the week. I gave it 4.75. Like, bro, it was as close to a perfect 15-minute matchup that you will see in wrestling.
That finish is gonna stay with me forever. You squeeze the life out of Takeshita.
Him doing the headlock reversal. The headlock reversal out of the
Boot Thunder driver.
Dude, that's one of my favorite spots of the year. Just my reaction, the crowd's reaction, the commentary's reaction. I was like blown away. And the fact that he gave that the same rating as Jericho and Kevin fucking Knight, the same rating as Penta and Laredo Kid, that disappointing matchup on Monday. What the fuck is he watching?
That's what I'm saying. He's not watching at all. He's not watching. There's no way. There's just no way. Like, I don't know. If that's what we're gonna do, then just discontinue the star ratings at this point.
Yeah.
If you don't have the time to watch the matches, then there's no point in rating them, like at this point.
I agree because we're about to hit the 2-month mark on Maya World and Mercedes.
I know it's never happening, bro. I know
me too. Me too. He's not rated. He's never going to watch that match.
You know what though? This is a result of that of what we're talking about, because he's rated all these matches on autopilot like that. So when he actually sat down and watched My World versus Mercedes with no distractions, he was like, "Oh fuck, if I give this an objective rating right now, they're gonna be really mad at me. Wait a minute, this is not 5 stars. Oh fuck." So like, he probably should have just gave it the 5. Like,
he should have gave it a 4.25, like he gave Jericho and Kevin Knight, and called it a day. then people wouldn't get mad at him until this week when Jericho and Kevin Knight got the same rating as Mercedes and Knight. Oh man, we got Chilling with Chase, who says Dave falls asleep at live shows. He did at Double or Nothing one time when I went. I've had multiple people tell me they've seen Dave fall asleep at a live show. Yeah,
I've heard about that. Yeah, he's old as fuck, bro.
Yeah, he is. Dude's been around since he was like in his 40s and the 80s. What the fuck?
I know. Actually, because he's kind of jacked, so you don't really think about how old he is, but he's fucking old. Like, I sat with him in Vegas and in California, but in Vegas I mostly noticed how old he was, just because it's the way old people use their phone. It's like the I was like, is that the guy that tweets all that shit? How the fuck is he tweeting all that shit?
Is that the guy who got pissed off at me for my top 100 WWE wrestlers? But yeah, that was SmackDown this week. Now let's move on over. Was there anything else from SmackDown that we should? There was 2 new champions. JC Jane winning the Women's US Championship. I thought that was the wise decision, a good way to go about that. And they set it up well with the Tiffany attack earlier in the show. I thought Chelsea Green's promo was really good.
That was really good. I was going to praise that.
Got the crowd behind her, and she's doing swimmingly as a babyface right now. Like, it's ridiculous how smooth a transition she's made to babyface. And then the Cody Randy stuff, it's fine for what it was. It just feels like another big program on the show, but I can't get invested in it because it feels like too little too late. It feels like all the shit they should have done before WrestleMania, they're doing now.
Yeah, come on, like Cody and Randy fighting over who's gonna smash their head into the stairs. I was like, wait, this is something you should have done, probably did already in April. Okay. I also thought it was funny that security was able to stop Cody. You didn't stop Randy. You smashed Cody's fucking head in, but you were able to get that chair from Cody. All right.
Fair enough. Then we got WWE Raw on Netflix this past week. Last week's show did 2.6 million viewers. This week, the show featured Solo Sikoa kicking off the program to address Jacob Fatu taking out Royce Keys after Keys was announced as being out indefinitely. He also made fun of his brothers, which brought out his older brother, Jey Uso, to confront and challenge Solo. And if Solo loses, Jay gets to deliver him to Roman Reigns. Jay delivered and gave him a warning shot, which led to Solo totally making his older brother look like a geek by being like, oh no, let me duck. Did anybody get shot behind me? And that is exactly what happened, though, in the main event was Jey Uso actually making Solo look like a geek by defeating him, thanks to an assist from Jimmy Uso in the main event. And now Jey Uso gets to deliver Solo to Roman Reigns. You had Penta. He picked up a win over Laredo Kid in a good match to advance in the World Heavyweight Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. He will now face the winner of next week's matchup between La Parka and Psycho Clown. Tonight's matchup between La Parka and Psycho Clown on AAA. Stephanie Vicaire came out to address her return, which brought out Becky Lynch to interrupt and disparage Vicaire for being injury-prone and not more deserving of a WWE Women's World Championship shot than her. This led to Vicaire telling her she doesn't care and to stay out of her way before Liv Morgan attacked Becky from behind. Becky was able to fight back, and Vicaire stared down with Becky after Liv left when she bailed when the two women were about to attack her. And then later on in the show, more from the Judgment Day as Io Sky was the mystery partner for Sol Ruca to score a victory over Judgment Day's Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez in a rock-solid bout. Dragon Lee beat Dominic Mysterio in a decent bout. Post-match, you had Big Cass, who made his latest appearance, laying out the luchador. Javon Evans would try to make the save, but he got swatted out of the sky and laid out by Cass as well. You also had Chad Gable challenge Rey Mysterio to an Intercontinental Championship matchup, which was accepted. Austin Theory picked up a win over Akira Tozawa. Post-match, you had Braun Breaker looking to deliver a spear, but instead you had Oba Femi, who came down to stare down with Breaker for a second straight week before Breaker basically traded more words with Paul Heyman, who he still claims is Oba Femi's good friend. Any thoughts on Monday Night Raw from this week?
Oh my God, this is ChatGPT wrestling. This is autopilot wrestling. This is the fucking worst. This is the worst part of my life right now. I gotta sit through this. I can't fucking turn it off. You know, I can't. It's like I'm trapped for 2.5 hours, sometimes 2 hours. I'm fucking trapped watching this horrid television show. This is boring. This is not exciting. Solo Sikoa just being a person is the most exciting thing of the show because he's just being a guy, and everyone else is reading these robotic lines. And Paul, do you think Oba Femi is the future? Like Oba Femi, what the fuck is going on, bro? No. This is so bad. This is all so bad. The whole thing. Yeah, maybe you can point out one or two little things that are a bright spot here and there. We can pick this whole fucking show out of my face. This show is garbage. Holy shit. I don't have any real thoughts about Raw because I'm glazed the fuck over watching Raw. I'm just like I'm just trying to watch. I'm not even falling asleep. I'm just like you. I'm in a trance. I can't. I just like take the events, I write them down, and I put them out, and I just take the events and I just write them down, and put them out. Nothing excites me. Nothing makes me sad. Nothing makes me mad. Nothing makes me feel. This shit is dry plastic, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, fucking Claude AI wrestling. This just sucks. That's my thought about WWE Raw.
This is exactly what I needed to hear. No, No, I can't say you're wrong. Like, this was a very mundane episode of Monday Night Raw, and like I complimented and praised last week's episode because it felt like they were actually resetting the table and kind of giving us new things. They were finally pulling the trigger on LA Knight going after Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. You had the Obafemi and Braun Breaker storyline, and I do enjoy Braun Breaker being something besides the dog or the badass, being a psychopath who's very insecure of the fact that Obafemi has this rise. That's a bit of meta commentary. The fact that Braun Breaker is so like thrown off by the fact that everybody is jumping on the Obafemi bandwagon, that I can get into that story, but it's literally the only story that I can actually get into. Becky and Stephanie Vaquer, I really enjoyed their returns last week. And then this week, that promo, I was just like, what the fuck was that? Like, that did nothing for Stephanie. That buried Stephanie for 10 minutes. That's all that Becky was doing. She's cutting these promos. And I love Becky on the mic, but that promo did not do it for me. And yeah, this episode was just so... It felt like the peak was Solo being funny in the opening segment.
I'm just like, with the Braun Breaker Obafemi thing, it's like Braun is so fucking stale right now. Like, does he need meta commentary? Like, why does he just have regular commentary? Like, why isn't he just mad? Like, why don't they just fight? You know, like, do you think Obafemi's a future? Like, don't acknowledge that stuff. Just like be the fucking Braun Breaker. Like, just be Braun Breaker. Be Braun Breaker and fight Obafemi. And that's enough. And people will want that, and they'll both feel like stars. You know, like it's Jesus Christ. It can be so simple. You know, there's fucking 20 people in that room. You see them on Unreal every week, and they're all smiling and happy to come to fucking work. You bunch of fucking dry toast motherfuckers. Oh.
Dry toast motherfuckers is quite the statement.
Look at them. Like, you can see them in your mind right now in their polo shirts and their fucking, you know, you can see them. They're all worthless. You and your whiteboard and all you motherfuckers and are doing nothing. You should all be fired. You should all find jobs somewhere else. I don't have no sympathy for their writing team. Get the fuck on out of here.
Lack of writing team. More like it. We got Chuck Berry's just like, yeah, Chat GBT, Google, Gemini. Joe Chase says Raw just feels stale too many times. Yeah. We got Big Man Dog says Oba's promo last week was good. I watched that. I thought the second half of Oba's promo last week, when he was like, he's the leader of the new school and has the torch, that was good. The first half where he's explaining, well, you know, I beat Brock Lesnar and he couldn't realize that he couldn't do it anymore, but then he left. And then he came back to make sure that I was really that person that he thought he was. So I lost, and then he came back, and then I beat him. And I was just like, shut the fuck up. Stop explaining this awful fucking storyline of Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. It's one of, like, we had such high hopes for it. We were so high on it coming out of WrestleMania, and they have literally spent the last 4 months fucking ruining that shit. So stop talking about it.
That first segment was really good. Like, he says, you know, I'm the future, whatever. If anybody has a problem, come step to me. And then Braun Breaker comes out, and I was like, all right, yeah, fuck, let's do this. And then we do the thing where Braun Breaker's obsessed and staring into the camera for 30 minutes. Oh, fucking Obafemi. Like, what? You could have spent that same amount of time. I don't know. He could have looked like a beast. He could have been backstage throwing shit around. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill Obafemi. Like, it's all right. This is what it is.
Saying all of that, it's literally the only thing that's somewhat intriguing on this show right now. So here we are. But you mentioned one of the news notes that we had to get into. Shinsuke Nakamura has acquired a ticking time bomb. last night on Friday Night SmackDown, there was supposed to be a vignette that aired to follow up from last week. We saw a return vignette for Shinsuke Nakamura, where he teased that he has a new tag team partner and that he has his sights on the new tag team champions, teasing the reveal of his new ally in a message to the MFTs after SmackDown went off the air this week. As noted, the Tala and Tama Tonga won in a three-way on SmackDown to win the tag titles. In a digital exclusive posted after the show, Nakamura continued to say he has an ally joining him. Nakamura told the new champions, MFTs, congratulations, you are now the champions. Are you savoring the feeling, knowing that it'll be gone soon? Was the victory as sweet as knowing what's coming next? Me, my partner, your destruction. My partner is what you all pretend to be. Experienced, vicious, deadly. He is chaos. He's a ticking time bomb. Take cover. Ticking time bomb is, of course, the nickname of former NJPW star Hiromu Takahashi. And he has dubbed his finisher the Time Bomb. He has the Time Bomb 1, Time Bomb 1.5, Time Bomb 2, Time Bomb 2.5. Takahashi was reportedly to be likely to be heading to WWE NXT earlier this year. To be clear, it is not confirmed that Takahashi will be Nakamura's new tag team partner, but the first two vignettes have made teases or hints that it is Hiromu. No word as of now on when Nakamura will debut his new ally. What do you think about Nakamura potentially teaming with Hiromu Takahashi on the main roster? And do you think that Takahashi will be able to find success in WWE, especially considering the fact he's skipping NXT? It seems.
Skipping NXT is pretty crazy. Like, I mean, okay, you know, I like Takahashi too, but there's like, you're gonna get mad at him when he doesn't know your style now. Like, okay, you're gonna blame him and say he's a failure. That's what they always do.
Yeah.
And it did show. They did show like his jacket with the eyes and everything on it. So I was like, oh, that's definitely Takahashi. But yeah, so skipping NXT is quite a choice. I guess he's going to have Nakamura with him. I guess that's the point of this, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. It's pretty crazy to think that we're at a place where Nakamura is the old man guy, new Japanese star, but time does pass.
It's been 10 years. 10 years of Nakamura in WWE.
10 years of Nakamura in WWE is crazy. Like, this is what a lot of people only know of him. We only know Shinsuke is the fucking lower mid Carter on SmackDown. Has he ever been on Raw?
Yeah. Remember, he had the feud with Cody and Seth in 2023.
Oh, God, I forgot that happened. I remember the Seth match. I forgot he even interacted with Cody at all.
Yeah, that was after
the red mist at him.
Yeah. that was basically very much everybody and their mama saw that as we're just wasting time for Cody until WrestleMania season.
Yeah, what a great idea, Roman and Paul. But as far as Hiromu, I love Hiromu. I love him in New Japan. I'm very excited for him to have success. I just don't, they're already setting him up. Like his fucking package got television, bro.
And you're putting him in the tag team division, the SmackDown tag team division, which has been wretched in 2026.
Tama Tonga, that's your first opponent. Oh my God! All right.
Who passed gas? And yeah, they're probably gonna make him change his name. The Raijin, whatever the name that everybody thought.
God, that's right.
That Evil was gonna be. I long thought that was gonna be Hiromu's name.
Raijin. I hope there's not a situation where they just think they have too many guys on NXT right now, because they have a lot of people coming into NXT right now. So I'm hoping they're just like, oh well,
yeah,
this is just gonna go. Because that sucks. Like, that really sucks. Is they're not gonna have any plans for him up here. They're gonna do one thing.
They have plans for the tag team division.
They always have plans for the tag team division.
Hey, they were trying to rebuild the tag team division.
And they're always trying to rebuild the tag division. That report comes out once a year like clockwork. WWE is currently trying to rebuild the tag division. Somebody had the nerve to put that report out after they lost Motor City Machine Gun and the New Day.
And the Wyatt Six. You lost like 5 people. They freaking, and they lost Jeff Cobb and Tonga Loa. They wiped out their whole tag team division with their latest releases.
We're trying to rebuild it as we swing at it with a sledgehammer.
He definitely needs to bring Daryl with him.
Yeah. But this is WWE, the place where that would work the most. And
yes,
actually, he has no cat.
Also true. Probably true. All right, but other big news in WWE is what are they going to do with this Chelsea Green title reign after she apparently got injured last week? It seems cruelly ironic that when WWE finally adopted AEW's good idea of having an interim champion while the previous holder recovers from injury, the interim champion would also get injured. Yet that's precisely what happened with Chelsea Green, infamously referred to by Michael Hayes as not a top star. Green has spent every moment working to prove otherwise. Her victory for the interim WWE Women's Championship seemed like an acknowledgement that she had. And then the freak orbital bone injury took place during a matchup on SmackDown last week against Fatal Influence. Some wrestlers seem to have an inordinate amount of bad luck, and Chelsea Green's WWE career very much says that, with injuries happening seemingly whenever she's about to make it to the next level. This time, Chelsea broke her orbital bone during a match on Friday Night SmackDown where she was teaming with Tiffany Stratton against Fatal Influence. Brian Alvarez, who was originally reported the injury, went into further detail on Wrestling Observer Radio this week. Alvarez reported that Chelsea Green suffered the injury while taking Henley and Reed's double team finishing move. Apparently, Reed landed on Green's head while executing the move. He had no new information on how long Green would be out or if she would have to vacate the interim WWE Women's Championship. Alvarez also stated that Henley and Reed's finisher isn't a popular one. He's talked to multiple people in the business that say that it isn't a good finish anyway. I've watched the footage back and it did not look that serious, but yeah, you know, here we are.
They're young too. I mean, when you're new and you hurt someone, immediately it's like your lack of talent.
Yep. They definitely try to de-push you in this company. But according to WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select, a source has indicated that WWE is not looking to change the title right now and don't want to take it off of Green or remove her from TV. The plan as of Wednesday this week was for her to appear on this week's WWE SmackDown, which she did and still held on to the title. Green is expected to be out of action for a number of weeks. WWE is said to be optimistic about her injury status. This week, the Wrestling Observer newsletter backs that up, saying that Green is likely to be back on TV immediately and she will not be wrestling, however. Considering that they've been doing the same for Liv Morgan, this isn't a huge surprise. Morgan has been getting some criticism for not defending her title when she could, but she's still in the storyline mix and remains a top character. Non-interim champion Rhea Ripley looks likely to be out of action until at least the Royal Rumble. It would make less sense for a physically based character like her to have a title and not defend it, but both Green and Morgan have established personas as the type of person who would weasel out of some matches if they could. But Chelsea Green is hurt. She had a crazy black eye on SmackDown last night, but do you think that she's going to be able to find a way to get back into the ring in 30 days to follow through on this? Or do you think WWE is going to have to vacate the title again?
I think she'll be fine. I don't think we would have even suggested the 30-day thing if they didn't have an idea of her being ready in 30 days. I do think it's a little hypocritical to expect her to be back in 30 days and then give Rhea Ripley several months to be champion while she's injured, but I digress. She had a good promo on SmackDown. They set up a good storyline. Some intrigue with Tiffany Stratton. Is she going to be mad at Chelsea Green now for costing her the title by accident just by being out there? There's a lot of things they can do. And the thing about Chelsea is that she's really, really good out of the ring. Honestly, let's be serious here. Have we struck gold by having Chelsea be able to be champion, have featured television time, and not have to get in the ring? So this might be a very, very good thing. She fuck around and get even more over, and we don't have to worry about her wrestling in the match, and we don't have to worry about the matches because when you're a champion, you're expected to have those 15-minute matches, right? Or in WWE, 12.
This whole thing though, like, and that's why I put it in the report. This just makes Liv Morgan look worse. The fact that she's not injured, yet she has the same schedule as fucking Chelsea Green and Rhea Ripley.
The 30-day rule can't exist for one person. Like, that's just the 30-day rule. We're like, why is Liv Morgan who's not hurt at all? I didn't even consider it. I was thinking about Rhea. But Liv, who's not even injured, is to spend 100 days without defending the title. It's wild. Chelsea's got these expectations.
And I think that Chelsea is already the WWE Women's Champion because that's all they referred to her last night as. They're just not gonna. They're not gonna do the official announcement that she's not interim anymore.
I think they're just gonna stop mentioning it, and then someday Rhea's gonna come back and be like, "Put on the champion," like it's fine.
Could do that. Then you can have whoever you want to go after the Women's World Champion be the winner of the Royal Rumble, and Rhea just comes back after the Rumble.
Yeah,
doesn't be in the Rumble at all. Just come back on like the SmackDown after the Rumble.
Yeah, we don't need someone who just got knee surgery going over the top rope and landing on their fucking knee.
Yeah, exactly. So then you got Roman Reigns is back in the news because we got to talk about his future title matches coming up. He's got a couple of title defenses coming up in schedule for WWE. A new report has some details on who those opponents will be. Reigns has already announced that he will defend the World Heavyweight Championship on September 14th on Raw in Mexico City against the winner of a luchador tournament. WrestleVotes Radio on FIFA Select reports that the feeling backstage is that Penta will be the winner of the tournament and go on to challenge Reigns in Mexico. One source in the company said that the tournament is a unique opportunity in Mexico for WWE and that Penta is the right choice to capitalize. In addition, sources told WrestleVotes that LA Knight is currently being planned with a strong sense within the company that the match between the two will take place at Money in the Bank. This year's Money in the Bank takes place from New Orleans, Louisiana on October 10th. Reigns won the title from CM Punk at WrestleMania 42, has held it for 116 days, and he has already defended it 3 times against Seth Rollins and Zilla Fatu twice. The Seth Rollins win came on night 2 of SummerSlam. Elsewhere in the world of wrestling, some WWE releases have made their first announcement of their next shows. The married couple of Malakai Black and Xelina Vega have already made announcements for their first shows. Former WWE superstar Zelina Vega will be in action at the HOG Fallout event on September 14th. While she will also be alongside her husband, Malakai Black, as Progress Wrestling announced this week that Black and Zelina will be in action in the promotion's The Odyssey Tour in September. Per the announcement, the Odyssey Tour, Malakai Black will be completing. One of the biggest names in professional wrestling is coming to Edinburgh, Leeds, and Manchester for his first matches back on the independent wrestling scene. He's held gold in every major promotion. He's set foot in and returns to Progress with one major goal. Zelina Vega was also announced for the show as well. So we'll see.
Just
Zelina.
One of them? That's weird.
She's just doing one of them. So
it made me raise my eyebrows when I saw that for some reason they were advertising him as Malakai Black when he made such a big deal to shave his head and call himself Tommy End the other day.
Yeah. This dude can't figure out his own creative.
Well, Actually, that just made me a little concerned, but I was like, "Oh no, hold on,
No. He owns Malakai.
hold on."
No.
Yeah.
If that's the indication you were getting, no. He owns the name Malakai Black.
Yeah,
He does not
keep it.
own Tommy End. He does not own Tommy. I don't even know why he said that in the video. I was confused because he does not own Tommy End.
It's such a big deal. Like, I'm gonna shave my head. Everything's different now. I'm Tommy N. And the very first announcement they make is got the render with his hair, and he's still Malakai Black. Nobody give a fuck about your Instagram, bro. It's all right. Just keep. Oh God, just keep him away. Just keep him away.
Yes, keep him far
Sorry.
away.
So he's a good talent, man. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's a great wrestler. We've been here. He's allergic. His shoulders are allergic to the mat, and he's old now. His back is all fucked up.
I unfortunately disagree with your statement
about him staying away.
No, about him being a great wrestler.
Oh,
I think he was a great wrestler. He's not a great wrestler anymore.
I wouldn't disagree.
I think sometimes you can a combination of ring rust, motivation. Like I think there's a number of reasons why that's a fact.
He's gonna have to at least prove that he can be more than what he was for the last year plus on television.
I agree. I definitely agree there. Then we got the funniest news story of the week. Eric Cannon claimed that AJ Styles' son Avery hid in the locker room rather than help out during his appearance at GCW Rude Awakening, drawing a response from AJ Styles. Avery Styles competed at the August 1st event where he lost to Marcus Mathers. Natty, in an interview with the Wrestling Classic, said that she met Avery at the show and that Avery losing showed that he was willing to pay his dues and that he's not going to come into the industry as AJ Styles' son that has to be pampered and coddled. And then everything everybody said after that went in contradiction to that. Cannon, who is a regular for GCW, responded to Natty's comments on Twitter by posting, "As someone who watched this kid skirt away from helping with a single thing at this very show, I like to say LO fucking L." AJ then saw the post and responded, retweeting it and saying, "He was paid to wrestle at GCW, not help you put up and take down the ring. That sounds like your job. You just sound like a jealous douche." Cannon then replied, "I have all the respect in the world for you. AJ, I understand why you defend your son, and it is admirable. But the fact remains he can stay AJ's kid, continue to skirt responsibility and paying dues, or he can earn the respect of his peers and stand on his own as Avery." Then let go. Then we got a couple of more exchanges between the two. AJ responded to that with, "You don't ask someone to have dinner at your house and have them do the dishes. He was asked to wrestle at GCW. Although grateful for the opportunity, a vet would have talked to him professionally and at least face to face." Eric Cannon responded, "A 20-year vet, 20-plus year vet and promoter asked him to help with the chairs twice. Instead of helping, he hid in the locker room until everything was done. My 2 cents isn't going to affect his future, but with all due respect, you stating he doesn't need to help is only doing him a disservice." For now, that is where the conversation ended off. But then it got worse for Avery and everybody involved and all second-generation wrestlers because Cody Rhodes had to fucking open his dumbass mouth. Cody Rhodes, who apparently takes the WWE PR training of Nick Khan and Triple H, took to social media after Eric Cannon posted a picture of him sweeping up in a ring when he was on the independent scene. The matter was a hot button topic and multiple people brought it up, but Rose took to Twitter to comment after Cannon shared a photo of him sweeping a ring after a show and Jimmy Hart setting up chairs. He wrote, and I quote, "Eric, my friend, no shade intended, but my outlook, Avery is 19. His father was paying dues and making sacrifices throughout that young man's youth that some people may never understand. When you're the family holding down the fort, to simplify, he's already set up the fucking chairs. Cannon has yet to reply to Cody, because I think that his reply would be, "You just sound like an entitled fucking asshole. Oh my God. You just made this shit worse for this fucking kid. And you're one of the biggest stars in fucking wrestling. How did you think that that was okay for you to put out there?" Holy shit. Holy shit. The lack of self-awareness by Cody Rhodes. This is one of the worst replies anyone could have gave, let alone one of the biggest stars in WWE.
I know Cody thought he was cooking with that shit too.
He really did.
He really did.
The
fucking chairs. Brandy, look at this. Brandy, look at this. This is like I cooked him, right? Yes, you did, baby. I mean, where do I begin? There's a lot of ways to come at this. I think someone said the fact that we even know this happened is embarrassing, and there's an element to that too. It should have been a private conversation, but according to Eric Cannon, it was already like it was already approached. I in a way, I understand what Cody was trying to say. I don't agree with him. I get what he thinks he was saying. I don't think he was right, but I can understand why a person would feel that way, even though he himself didn't do that. Like like the picture showed, you know, he was also helping to set up and take down rings and set chairs up, and that's something they did in OVW, man. Like that's something they did in FCW. That's something they do in NXT. That's something they just do. There is a thing that entry-level wrestlers do so that people like AJ Styles' son and fucking Logan Paul can all, or they should have started at the same level. We all do the same thing so that we can understand the people under us when we go climb the card. There's nothing wrong with that. This idea that Cody has that AJ wasn't home when Avery was a kid, so that's how you pay your dues.
That was you.
You know how many motherfuckers got? But do you know how many motherfuckers got no dad?
Yo, that shit was literally like insane to me. Like when I cannot tell you like how wide my eyes went when I saw this tweet by Cody.
I laughed. I just laughed because he meant that shit. Like it's like you're not. This doesn't help. Holy shit! You are like the worst. This is like the worst. When AJ did it, it didn't help, right? But he's also a father.
But he's a father. Yeah,
you know, fathers are gonna do that. Come on, you just did this corny dad shit. Like get the fuck out of here. You know what? Honestly, Avery's 19. Like 19-year-olds are like that. So like I you know, it didn't have to be such a big conversation. Like this became a fucking controversy because they kept throwing gas on the fire trying to protect him. It's like if AJ would have just read Eric Cannon's tweet and been like, Avery, is this true? Like, could you just fucking help next time? You know, like he could have had that conversation at home and nobody would have responded to him. And Eric Cannon probably would have tweeted at the next show about how Avery set up the chairs. And then, man, I was wrong, you know.
What's wrong about this kid? He actually set up the chairs.
Yeah, you know, like I get where Eric Cannon was coming from too. You know, like this fucking guy. When you are a kid in the business, you're essentially supposed to listen to the vets. I don't think that AJ is helping Avery by putting a shield around him the way that he is. And I don't know that Avery, I mean, he probably feels awkward as fuck. Like all this shit is happening. It's just like, what the fuck? I don't even think I want to do this anymore.
He's like, you know what, Dad? I think I'm just gonna go apply on
it's gonna be a car salesman. I don't need this stress. There's a what sucks is it kind of feels like I'm fast tracking my son to the PC anyway. He doesn't have to do any of this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like then Brian Pillman Jr. tweets the photo of himself and all the other Nepo babies. And we already set up the fucking chairs. I only tell you young kids right now, stop hanging around these old, out of touch motherfuckers right now. Just move away. They're not helping. They're not helping you. They're not helping you, man. All he did was expose AJ's. All he did was expose AJ's son at the PC. We didn't even know he was
like that's all
yet,
he
bro.
did. That's all he did. But like Lexus King, he is just an attention whore. He loves getting this type of attention. So this was a field day for him. He was happy.
We set up the effing chairs.
We got him now.
Yes.
But I understand where everybody's coming from. Like with Avery Styles and AJ Styles, I can understand why they feel like he shouldn't have to set up the chairs or set up the ring at that particular event, because GCW was using Styles' name for their show. Like you got a guy who's green, who's only wrestled a handful of matches, but you called him in. You didn't call him in for him to get reps and pay some dues and be on your show. You paid him to use his name for fans to buy more tickets for your show. So if I'm Avery Styles, hell yeah, I'm gonna be fucking hiding. I didn't sign up for that. I didn't agree to that. Like, I can understand where he's coming from too. Like, I'm one of the biggest stars on your fucking show. I've only had 3 matches, but I'm still one of the biggest stars on your fucking show. No, I won't be doing that.
But then, they say somebody asked him directly, and that's the part that kills me, because it's like, yeah, if someone asked me directly and I fucking just figured out a way to ignore them, I would feel like an asshole. Like, no matter what the age was, I would be like, damn, I'm a fucking dick. So like, that's probably something that should be worked on. Somebody should talk to him about that.
True. All right, let's finish up with WWE this week. You had NXT on Tuesday. This was a noteworthy episode for sure. First up, you had EK Prosper. He replaced Sean Spears to team with Lizzie Rain in getting a win over Izzy Dame and Nico Vance in a mixed tag team matchup. You also had on the show, Callie Armstrong came out to address NXT Women's Champion Kendall Gray until Kalani Jordan said that Callie can't skip her in the line. This brought out Gray alongside Ren Sinclair, with Kendall giving Kalani a contract for a title shot, which Jordan says she will take the match at NXT Heatwave. The very first matchup announced for that damn show, 2 weeks from now. After Ren told off Callie swung on her and hit Kendall's injured ear before Armstrong and Jordan jumped Sinclair. This led to later on in the show where Zarya overcame Sinclair to retain the NXT Women's North American Championship. However, later you had Ren, who talked to Robert Stone about making a title for title matchup between Ren and Zarya at Heatwave. Second match for that show in 2 weeks. Dion Lennox picked up a win over Saquon Sugars thanks to Dark State. Dark State then jumped Sugars after the matchup. Cam Hendricks pulled off his biggest win on NXT so far as he scored a victory over Mason Rook. Lucian Price toppled Lexis King in a non-title matchup, while you had Cruz Montana and Grayson Waller in a number one contenders main event matchup. Ended in controversy as Zilla Fatu finally made his debut in NXT, laying out both Waller and Montana before making it clear he was coming for the NXT Championship. More on that in a bit. WWE Evolve was on Wednesday on Tubi, which saw Charlie Dempsey of Birthright make his return to the show. Put on a really good matchup against Oka Sasaki from Noah in the opener. You had Ren Sinclair picked up a win over Sloan Jacobs. Post-match, Sinclair was confronted by Evolve Women's Champion Nikita Lyons until Thea Hale came out to attack Nikita and announced she gets a shot at the title next week. Finally, It's Gall beat Chaz, Starboy Hall, and Cappuccino Jones in a fun 3-way match. Post-match, he challenged Harlem Lewis for the Evolve Men's Championship until Cap and Starboy attacked and laid out Gall and then did some air guitar to end the show. Then we go back to all the way last Saturday, AAA on Fox. You had the Vernano D Escalano Week 3 event, which Flammer beat Lady Chani and La Catalina to retain the AAA Reina de Reyes Championship. Los Perros del Mal came out for a promo where they invited out legend Damien 666 and gave him a Perros shirt before warning the rest of the roster. Jack Cartwheel scored a victory over Noisy Boy in singles competition, yet Noisy Boy's getting a shot at Ray Phoenix for the Cruiserweight Championship. Someone explain that to me. And El Fiscal beat Psycho Clown and Cruz del Toro in a three-way matchup after Drake Monroe was revealed as the attacker of the Psycho Circus, laying out Psycho Clown, and El Fiscal went on to make the save, and he moves on to the four-way at Triple Mania for the Latin American Championship.
I knew there was a Blake Monroe. I did not know there was a Drake Monroe.
Yeah, it's spelled differently. It's not. It's like Monroe, but it's MRREAUX.
Where are they coming from?
And then finally, we had TNA Impact on Thursday on AMC. Thursday Night Impact, the show featured Nick Nemeth retaining the TNA World Championship in a very good main event against Jeff Hardy. Ricky Sosa picked up a win over Brian Myers in a fine opener. Post-match, the system jumped Sosa until Leon Slater made the slave. This led to Slater challenging Cedric Alexander to a steel cage match for the TNA X Division title at Lockdown, which Cedric responded by saying that Leon has to put something on the line, his X Division title reign. So if Cedric wins at Lockdown, Leon's title reign gets erased from the record books. Trey Miguel made his return to team with BDE and Rich Swann in a win over Order 4 in trios action. Post-match, Agent Zero laid out Trey, and Trey challenged Agent Zero later on in the show. Moose hosted the Face of the Franchise speech, parodying Frankie Kazarian's talk show before getting into a brawl with Kaz. You also had M by Elegance scored a victory over Indy Hartwell to advance in the TNA Knockouts World TV title tournament. And finally, KC Navarro defeated Eddie Edwards in an upset win. Post-match, the system jumped KC until Jada Stone, Fabian Eichner, and Ricky Sosa made the save before Santino Marella came out to announce that it will be the system facing KC, Sosa, Eichner, and Stone in a lethal lockdown match a week from tomorrow at Lockdown. So, a couple of things to unwrap from our seed level shows. What did you think about Zilla Fatu's arrival in NXT?
It was inevitable. I feel like all he had to do was get his act together. Let's just hope he doesn't get into any issues in WWE, so that he doesn't become the Teddy Hart of the Unknown family.
Right on the verge of it.
It's this close, bro. It's this fucking close. Like it's natural.
He's gotten in great shape, though. I remember when he first started, he was chubby. He's gotten into great shape.
I remember I like to think not being on that Samoan family tree made him think about what direction he was headed in. He really got his shit together afterwards. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna work out fine. Like I think because it's WWE, because he's gonna be in the system, because he'll be with family, I guess. He will work out fine. I do think there was some leftover stuff that he never really worked on when he was in the Indies, but you know what? Fuck it. He's part of the family, man. It's people get mad at nepotism in wrestling. I feel like nepotism is a very ingrained part of wrestling history. It's like I don't think about it like that. From the very
beginning, Von Erichs. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, the Von Erichs, the fucking McMahon family.
Yeah,
the Hearts, the Rhodes, the Orns, the fucking
Anoa'i.
It's just the Ghanaians. It's just the way that wrestling works, and sometimes it works better when you still have those elements in it. So Zilla is. I don't think he's. The NXT exists for a reason. Is basically what I'll say about Zilla Fatu. Like
he feels like the perfect kind of guy for NXT.
Yeah, just he's still moldable. He's still malleable. He can still learn. He can still become the kind of wrestler that WWE needs him to be, which is fine. Because I mean, let's be real. On the Indies, I'm not gonna say he sucks. Straight up, I
He's
know.
just not that good.
I know. But it's like it's more like he's got this big ass name. Like he's Umaga's son. Like fucking Umaga. And so on day one, the fucking expectations are gonna be high as fuck for this guy. He is. There are worse Samoans. I just think he's still got the excuse of having many years ahead of him to learn. Because right now, what is he doing? He's emulating what he sees his cousins doing. Like, I'm doing the Samoan drop. I'll do the Superman Spike or whatever.
Samoan
Spike. How can you tell the difference? Like, nobody knows.
No, most people that I saw that I heard reviewing NXT this week called it a Superman punch.
You see what I'm saying? Like, those are the things they're gonna have to beat out of him in NXT. But again, that's what NXT is for. So, like,
exactly.
They'll get him.
I will say, dude, those people in fucking Performance Center went fucking nuts for this dude. Like they treated him. They treated him like he was fucking God. Showed like fucking Kenny Omega showed up on NXT.
They've been calling for this dude to join WWE. Like they just see like Samoa Umaga's son, bring him in, and that's the kind of pressure the dude is working under all the time. For real, people WWE fans specifically have just seen like 10 seconds of him. Like, another one, bring him to the company. So they're loving him. He's got to work on the craft,
His addition, he's in the right spot because he needs to work on his craft. He's green and he needs to work there. But I will say his addition to me has solidified the fact that this is probably the best NXT men's roster in like 2-3 years, because you have someone like him that's green and not that good, but they have that name recognition. People are going to be interested and know about him. They've really kind of bolstered their main event men scene with Grayson Waller coming down, cutting that promo that got attention. Cruz Montana coming from TNA over here. You got Tony D'Angelo, who's been the one guy. Then you got the kind of underneath people that have got title opportunities or can get future ones, like the Narakus, the Mason Rooks, the Miles Bourne, the Tavion Heights of the world. Then you got the people underneath them, the Vanity Project, Sean Legacy, Dorian. This is top to bottom the best men's roster they've had since Black and Gold. It's more layered. Like I feel like you'll have people that disagree with me and be like, man, NXT was much better last year. They had Oba, Trick, Javon, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, who was the sixth guy. My point exactly. Like the depth was not there. It was a very top heavy men's roster last year. This one is more the talent is more throughout the whole men's division.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree. One of the big things people were gonna have to wait to develop was the rebuild. Like they had to start over, so you kind of had to wait to see where they ended up with the rebuild. And I think that they've got, like you said, a pretty layered men's division now, much better than they had a couple months ago when it's just the women. Like the women were just on top. I guess it's fine. It's I try not to complain so much about NXT. Like, I know if you watch it, it's got those robotic fucking promos, and it's essentially the purest version of what WWE's vision is for professional wrestling. Like, this is what they think wrestling is. Yeah. So sometimes it's depressing seeing someone like Kendall Gray get the cool shit beat out of her and sanded off the corners and shit. But it's also that's why it exists. So like I'm not trying to dump on it as much as like Raw, which is like, you gotta get your fucking shit together. I pay to watch this show.
I get it. and no, Tigo, this is not like a narrative. This is just what people think, people's opinions. There's a difference between a narrative. A narrative, saying something is a narrative, is saying that it's not the truth. Or it's not how people feel, that this is just someone's narrative that other people have adopted. this is what the general opinion of Zilla Fatu. This is not a narrative. This is just the consensus opinion on Zilla Fatu.
I'm just talking about from what I've seen. You know, like I don't usually come on here and regurgitate what I read online. You know, my thoughts are mine from what I've seen. You know, like I watch a lot of wrestling, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. And compared to the thousands upon thousands of wrestlers that I have to watch every week or have seen in most of my life, I can make my judgment of Zilla Fatu right there and then. And I feel like I'm softer on him than other people are. Like if Josh was here, Josh would be fucking killing him.
He would. He definitely would. Definitely would. And then the other note that we didn't bring up from the C-level shows, Leon Slater with the stipulation at Lockdown, where he's putting up his X Division title reign on the line against Cedric Alexander. This has led to even more talk of Leon Slater having a very interesting. This is one of the Lockdown? More. It's next Sunday.
Is it?
But
oh wow,
yeah, the whole Leon Slater potential bidding war feels like the most interesting of any of the bidding wars we've seen in recent times, because dating back from the beginning of AEW, you had someone like Chris Jericho, who was a free agent, who could have gone to WWE, but decides to go with AEW. In 2024, there was the big three of Will Ospreay, Mercedes Moné, Kazuchika Okada, who all chose to go to AEW instead of signing with WWE. Later on in the year, you had Stephanie Vaquer, who turned down a deal from AEW to go to WWE. You had the Motoshi Machine Guns, who were free agents, who decided to go to WWE instead of AEW. You had guys like Kevin Knight, who was revealed that he got an offer from WWE and decided to go to AEW. But like, that one wasn't as big as this Leon Slater one feels. Like Leon Slater is 21 years old, and he's a guy that I feel he has a good chance either way he goes. So this feels like the most even chance possible because he has the experience. They know him in WWE, but his style more fits AEW. So it's very interesting. Do you think that this stipulation, they're going to follow through on it, or do you think that Leon's just going to win? And then what else do you think about his free agency that's coming up later this year?
Well, that's the thing. Like, do we know when he is a free agent? Like,
the end of 2026.
It's the end of 2026. So you figure why would they remove him from TV right now, right?
Well, it's the same thing. People were wondering why they did Eric Young versus Joe Hendry 2 weeks before Bound for Glory. It's because WWE got him early.
Yeah, I mean, with 6 months left in the contract, as fun as it.
Well, we don't know. We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
We just know it expires in 2026. So most people
I thought we knew it was like end of 2026.
Most people are figuring it's the end of 2026. But what we were told at the beginning of the year is sometime in 2026.
Well, I mean, I guess we still are missing that one. Like the algebra still got a Y in it. We still have to figure out exactly when it's over, and we'll know based on the finish of that match. Really, yeah. If he wins, you know, he'll only stick around TNA for a little while. If he loses, and they just erase his reign from history, and then he just kind of, you notice that he's saying goodbye on the way out. And I think we can expect number 5 in the Casino Gauntlet to be very interesting.
It's like he'll be in the Casino Gauntlet. He's already in England that weekend because he's on the Rev Pro show. So
I think the thing about Leon that is really, really unique is that he already got earmarked by WWE very publicly. He was on the John Cena retirement show in the ring with AJ Styles. Mm-hmm. If you ask me, it's about as good as it's gonna get, brother. Move on. Come back later. You know, like, don't do it. Don't let them start you over.
Don't come into that company at 21 and they tell you just stay tight until you're 30.
Yeah. What did Mark Henry say? 15 years, Javon Evans will be great, you know? In 15 years, he can get a push.
Big Man Dogs, I disagree with this statement. He says, I want to see Leon versus Kyle Fletcher. Will be annoying seeing the Elite Fleet suddenly say he's good, though. I've heard multiple AEW fans who have said Leon Slater is great. Like, he's not this is a cool kind of like joke or sarcasm for anyone else except for Leon Slater. Leon Slater has been on the independent scene. Multiple AEW fans, like legit AEW fans, even like the annoying AEW fans, have complimented him and say he would be great in AEW. I don't know what you're talking about here.
Yeah, you had to just think back to WrestleMania weekend when he was supposed to be in that match with Ricochet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. You, Big Man Dogs, what I'm trying to tell you is that you are wrong. You're talking about the Elite Fleet. The Elite Fleet love Leon Slater. They would shit on him if he went to WWE, but that doesn't mean that they're saying he's bad. There is a difference.
They would just be calling him stupid.
You're doing false equivalency here. Yeah. 24 on 30 under 30. Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah. He deserved to be there. Like, yeah, everybody, even Josh. Josh is like the number one TNA hater. He praises Leon Slater. Everybody praises Leon Slater. I don't know what you're talking about there. But that is all for what we missed. And now we are moving on to Miss Chrissy Love's favorite time of the show. Best, worst moments and matches of the week. Who is your best and worst from this past week, John?
Well, I'm going to go with my worst first because I'm glad we didn't talk about this earlier. We forgot. I'm sitting down watching the G1 semifinals. I'm having a good time. They're showing they show the Wrestle Kingdom logo. I was like, wow, fancy's regal. It looks like a fucking stage. I can't wait to see what the stage looks like. And all of a fucking sudden, AI Antonio Inoki's ghost arrives, and
that was horrifying. It was horrifying.
3 minutes, it wouldn't end. It felt like it was going forever. I could not believe what I was seeing. AI Antonio Inoki's ghost, and he's telling us, "Oh, AI, Antonio Inoki, AI stands for AI." This is horrifying.
It was
his
so
fucking
scary.
face was like moving in unnatural ways, and
never do that again. Never do that again, New Japan.
Worst thing I've seen.
What's the best of the week?
And then the best of the week. That's a good question. There was a lot of good. This is gonna be a real one. You give it to Chelsea Green's promo at the beginning of SmackDown. Good for you, girl. That was really good. Good for you. It looked good for the company. Good stuff.
Best of the week, I'm going with Oiwa and Uemura for making it to the G1 finals, and I'll probably have to put them best of the week next week when we talk about the final matchup. And worst of the week, Cody Rhodes for that response to the Avery Styles.
Setting up the effing chairs.
Moment of the week, I'm going to give it to the Tenzan retirement.
Zuka coming back with the fucking iron claw. I did like that. I got to go. I'll give it the Tenzan. Happy retirement, sir. Please just lay down for the rest of the weekend.
Please. Matches of the week, I got 10. I got 3 honorable mentions. I got Claudio and Ace Austin from Collision, MJF and Nick Wayne and Speedball from Dynamite, Death Riders, Perry and Bang Bang Gang from Collision last week. Number 10, I got Yuto Ice and Shingo Takagi from the G1 Climax. Just a hard-hitting scrap. Love that match. 9, I went with Uemura versus Gabe Kidd. Love the fire that Uemura showed in that matchup, going against Gabe's kind of unbridled rage. Then number 8, Uemura and Oscar. Just a pristine David versus Goliath matchup that was. 7, I went with Speedball versus Myron Reed from Collision. Just a balls to the wall banger that was. 6, I went with Warrior Uyawa versus Callum Newman from this morning's G1 Climax show. Number 5, I went with Jon Moxley versus Jack Perry from Dynamite. One of Jack Perry's best matches since he came back as Jungle last year. Number 4, I went with Callum Newman versus Hanare from the G1 Climax. Superb matchup there. 3, I went with Oiwa versus Takeshita from the G1 Climax A-Block Final Night. This was number 2 for the longest because number 2 now, though, is Uemura and Tsuji. I love that matchup. The history playing out in that matchup, how a Boston crowd was getting some of the biggest pops and reactions from that crowd was just so great. These two, they're going to create magic in the Tokyo Dome next year. But number 1 this week, for me, because I watched it this week, CMLL's Grand Prix last week. Just a spectacle. I didn't have it at 5 stars like Dave, but 4 3/4. It's amazing what these guys did for 75 minutes and kept those fans in Arena Mexico rocking. So that's got to be number 1 for me. John?
I wish I could give it that again. It was it was an experience. I will go 5, but I also have the added experience of being in the arena, and that was one of the most incredible live experiences I've ever had, especially that middle section. Jesus, it's crazy. But I do have to go my favorite match. I don't know if it was like recency bias, but I just thought these motherfuckers were cooking last night. Like, Tsuji and Uemura were like, I was like, fuck, bro. You know what? I thought, because in my mind, Uemura is a guarantee. Like, he's going to win this. He's going to win the G1. He's going to get the rematch. I just thought they would leave more on the table. They put it all out there. I was like, God damn, bro. That shit was fucking heat.
Yeah, so good. They said then the ending, he hits the deadbolt, then did the shining elbow. I had never seen that shit, yo. I
love that. Like I couldn't believe he didn't finish with that shit. He it just looked perfect. It looked like a video game.
Great. Yeah, it looked like a match ender. That could be his match ender.
And all week people have been having this discussion about Lizzie Rain's finisher, because she kind of does that thing where you hold her foot up and she kicks you in that.
Yeah,
this was like this fixed everything I it was perfect. It was perfect. This match was awesome. It's my match of the week. It's not just because of that too, but because I don't know. Uemura came into this like guaranteed. I think from the beginning of the tournament. I think a lot of us were like,
you know what? You convinced me. Grand Prix is number 2. Uemura and Shinsuke is number 1. I love that matchup. I'm gonna rewatch it when we're done
here. Wait, there's a moment where Tsuji goes for a spear, and you don't even, if you're not looking for the spear, you won't see it because he got his arms like locked in. I was like,
he's like trapped. I love how he does the deadbolt. How he builds to the deadbolt the whole matchup. It's fucking cinema. It's so good, so good. Yeah, Uemura and Tsuji is the match of the week. I put it at number 1. I gave them both 4 3/4 stars, the Grand Prix and that. So I'll give that the number 1 spot. But that is our matches of the week. That's our best, worst moments and matches of the week. Now, since we already talked about it, we've already been talking about it pretty much the whole show. Who you got? Woo! Tomorrow morning. Well, in a few hours, honestly. I think it's like in 12 hours. 12 hours, G1 Climax, 36 final, Roye Oiwa versus Yuya Uemura. Who you got tonight?
This match is about more than the winner. This match is one of those matches that it needs to be legendary. It really needs to be. Like, this is the battle for the future. Like, this is the next generation is now. Like, they didn't need no AEW guy. They didn't need no fully established former world champion. They've put in their balls on the table. They are putting what they have available now. This is New Japan today. This is 2026 New Japan Pro Wrestling. Ryohei Oiwa versus Yuya Uemura in the G1 Climax finals. They need to go out there and show the world what New Japan is about in 2026. This is what the next generation is about. There's no Okada, there's no Tanahashi, there's no Naito, there's nobody. It's us. It's Yuya Uemura. It's Ryohei Oiwa. You know, like that's what I'm not even. That's not just what has to happen. I am fully expecting that is what is going to happen tonight. I have no doubt in my mind that we are about to find out what the future looks like in this main event. I am so fucking excited to be able to come out of this tournament tomorrow and slap the rest of the casual world like, New Japan is fucking back, motherfucker. We're back. Yuya Uemura has to win. This is his time. It's time for him to break out. He hasn't got the moment. You know, like, he hasn't gotten that world title win. Tsuji got it. Shooter got the moment. It didn't. We didn't work out. We're gonna get back to you. But
Yeah.
but it's Uemura's time. I don't even know what they call it. He has such an ace feeling to him. Like he feels like the guy, the ace who can take New Japan to the next level on top. And it's time. This is that important stepping stone. I'm very excited to be witnessing this as it happens.
Yeah. I think this crowd in Ryogoku is going to be amazing tonight. And I went with, on our preview yesterday, I said I was going to go with the hot hand. I said I was going to go with Oiwa because J News went with Uemura. But I gotta stick with my original prediction when we come here on the flagship. I'm gonna stick with Uemura. I think Uemura, especially after what they gave us this morning, Uemura and Tsuji has to be the Tokyo Dome main event now. So I'll go with Uemura. We'll be talking about it right here on the channel on Monday. Myself, J News, and Sanal. John, you're more than welcome to join us for that as well, but we'll be here to break everything down from G1 Climax 36. We'll also do our matches of the tournament, myself, Sanal, and J News, so be on the lookout for that. That will be on the channel on Monday, usually 12:05, 1:05 p.m. Eastern time for that. But that brings us to the end of the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast this week. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us live. Thank you so much if you're watching us on demand. If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up, share this video, subscribe if you are new, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here, and sound off in the comments down below. Let us know what you thought about this week in wrestling. Want to thank Shad Tawks Graps for joining us earlier today, and of course, for the good brother John for joining us, our sixth man on the flagship podcast here. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they shall see you again.
So it has been a long ass weekend, and Saturday just started, but I spent the night. I was doing coverage for SmackDown, for the G1, for CMLL, for Disney's D23. There's so much shit on Dirt Sheet Radio that I'm just kind of hoping nothing else happens today. Please, everyone, just go home. Just go home.
Please go home.
But as far as like coverage, I'm talking all the Disney announcements, all the Marvel, Star Wars, MCU, all the fucking pro wrestling that's going to happen this weekend that has already happened. It's all available on Dirt Sheet Radio. So follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube. We're talking all that good shit. I'm dying to make this happen, but it's happening. Check us out.
God bless you, man. Yeah, he's doing great work. Go over and support John over at Dirt Sheet Radio. You can also see him here on the flagship and our review shows as well. Follow him. Yes. Oh, what's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's X-Men.
Oh yes. I'm like totally forgot. I thought you were talking about wrestling. I was like, what wrestling's on today? I was worried. Like, you got me so worried. Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment tomorrow will be live around 5:05 p.m. Eastern time over there for our X-Men 97 review, the finale for season 2. And I have a lot of thoughts, and I know our crew has a lot of thoughts. We already thought, if you know already, if you've been seeing all these videos about, oh man, what went wrong with the season? Oh man, why didn't we see the signs? We here at Tru Heel Heat saw the signs. We talked about it a week before everybody else. We saw what was going to happen before everybody else. So check out our X-Men 97 reviews over there. Also, our Spider-Man Brand New Day review is over there as well. Check out all the great content we got on this channel, like our Dark Side of the Ring review for Ultimate Fantasy, The Fall of Renegade. We'll also have up our review for Mr. Wonderful episode that dropped earlier this week, and we're catching up to that. So join us back here on Monday for our G1 Climax 36 final review. For John, for Shad Tawks Graps, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 394. Swerve in our positivity. We are signing off until. Whoa. Wait. Almost made the mistake. I almost made the mistake. We have super chats. I almost clocked out without reading super chats. All right, Alan Weinstein, Says AEW, you do you and keep putting the belt to ass to WWE and showing everyone who is the real number one company is. Thank you so much, Alan, being a member for 34 months. We also got a super chat donation from our main man, Ecuador. Thank you so much for the support. He says, to me, I don't feel like wrestling needs to have big stuff happen every week in stories. Have really good wrestling progress for wrestlers. AEW does it. WWE does not. WWE is moments and nothing more. Very well said.
Hard to disagree.
And then finally, Dion with the super chat donation. Thank you so much. He says, do you guys think AEW's roster is bloated? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's pro wrestling at this point. Tony Khan and Triple H, Nick Khan, the collective, they just kind of want to make sure the other guy doesn't get a dude. I'll sign him now and use him later.
One of those. But yes, thank you guys for the super chat donation. Now I can sign off. For Shad Tawks Graps, for Jon Escudero, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 394. Swerve in our glory. We are signing off until next time.